change a bit. Just waiting for what will be the result when we come into the end of it all, but it's still very early minutes of the game. It looks like they are both still trying to size each other up again after that goal that has been scored by the Ethiopia Buna side. They managed 5 goals past the Sidama side in the reverse fixture. This is William Solomon darting runs in the midfield. Some good play as well. Getting the better of Okiki Afolabi as well. Abubakar Nasser not afraid to take the ball towards the box. He gets a foul in the process as well. He keeps possession, and it makes it a little bit difficult for Manuel Ndale to stop him. He's looking for everything. If he gets into the box, if you foul him, it's going to be a penalty. Yep. If you don't foul him, he will score it. Here, obviously, there's a push and tag there, and then a little, push by Ndale. That's a foul.
Well, one thing that you marvel about this youngster is giving him space. When you give him space, he will kill you. When you give him time to control the ball, he will still kill you. So the best thing is to be a little bit faster in the interception and deny him that time and space.
You know what I like about him more, Gilbert? He doesn't wait for you to give him space. He creates the space himself. And so if you don't give him the space, he moves forward on his own. And he does all the things that you don't want from a striker, especially when you're a defender. This is going to be a free kick from the left side of attack for the Ethiopia Buna side. They don't have enough men up there. They've just put 3 men in that box. They knew they wanted to play it probably outside of the box. And a tussle in the midfield. It is Dawid Tefera-Guta who gets it. It looked like it was going to be an advantage to Okiki Afolabi, but when you lose the advantage after all this fight, it was given back to the it was given back to the Sidama side. Some hard work coming in from Alemante Casa, making our start today in only his 4th game for the Ethiopia Buna side. Well, Afolabi just has the effect of stopping it from going too far away, but they don't pick it into their position. And William Solomon is trying to get the left flank working as well. Was trying to get up Tamu Tadese running there. It's going to be a throw-in. It goes on to the right side. Not very well controlled. So the new coach of this Sidama side, Haile Gabramedin, knows that he's got a Herculean task to salvage the Sidama pride and to make sure the team doesn't go down. Plus the fact that they're playing at home, the Sidama side, adds on to the pressure of performance that is required of them. Ethiopia Buna back to default settings. Push the ball around. They've had little possession in the last few minutes, but in the 21 minutes played, they are running at 60%. But they don't seem to be in a hurry unless they come to the midfield and they want to start a quick break.
I think that's something that has really changed in the Ethiopia Buna side. They're really not in a hurry. They're waiting for the right moment to be able to give a pass. And when they give a pass, especially moving forward, it's a correct pass and they become extremely dangerous.
William Solomon in the midfield. The interception comes from Gezahin. Tamu Gezahin. Off the field of play for a throw-in. It's going to be for Ethiopia Buna. This is an Emmanuel Ndale who pushes it into the center. Not too far off for the Sidama Buna to possess it, but for the Ethiopia Buna side to easily pick it up. Abubakar Nasir wanted a return ball with Asra Tunjo. They managed to do the first one successfully, but the second inside it didn't. Here is a turn by Solomon, deciding to be selfish in the very last moment after doing the speed work. Wow, Tilahun getting a little bit frantic in clearing this one. And Mamo will try to then get it out of his area, but he's got a big run back into his goal area. It's going to be a throw-in. Sidama not in a hurry to capitalize on the goalkeeper's absence. Tefera-Guta brings it onto the left side. Yasa Mugerwa has waited a bit and has changed sides now, right into the center. Well, Okiki Afolabi gets onto it, but again, he doesn't angle it down. And he was expecting a foul there, so he wasn't very sure what he wanted to do on that one, Gilbert.
It's a well-plotted pass by Mugerwa. He takes his opportunity, picks his spot. That's a good pass, and instead of Okiki heading the ball downwards, he's actually helping Ethiopia Buna to clear the ball.
Yeah, he's looking up by the time he's heading that ball, so then the ball goes up. He doesn't nod it down. He should have been nodding it down. I think he expected a foul there. That's why he goes down, because there's no touch on him to warrant even that going down. And that's the problem sometimes, that you're expecting a little more than what is going to come out of the move. And we've seen it in very many players as well in the Ethiopian Premier League. Should have nodded it down. Abebe Tilahun pushes it forward for Abubakar Nasser. Very accurately getting onto his feet. Nasser then pushes it slightly forward. Tadese gives it back to Nasser. Solomon. And now they're looking for a 1-2 combination. This is easily picked up by Fabian Farnol. It's not going to trouble him at all. He had already read it. Comes from Asrat Tunja's weaker foot as well. Takes the shot on the right foot.
I think they've realized there's a lot of weakness, especially on Aman and Dale's side, the right back, and that is why Nasser, Kasa, and the little Solomon are moving in that direction all the time.
Yeah, that's Ndale who's caused that foul by pushing up Tamu Tadese off the ball. They are overloading it, and with an overload, of course, comes tired legs, and Ndale's are probably the most tired at the moment. While he was getting a little support from Gezaheny and others, he commits a foul, and it's going to be a free kick for the Ethiopia Buna side. A short one that they start with. They're just getting through with the 1-2 combinations on that left side of attack for the Ethiopia Buna side. And Ndale is feeling the pinch of having to roll up at the front and also coming to pick up. Here is Gezaheny, who's managed to get himself out of that quagmire of black stockings. Afolabi, never afraid to bring it to the strikers, to the defenders. But he's all alone, he doesn't get it to Gezaheny. Now it is again Abubakar's turn to try and change it. Doesn't work out for him. Mamadou Sidibe pushed the ball a little bit too far and didn't get anything that he expected. Fethuddin Jamal in a hurry to try and cut it up. A good return by Sunday Mutuku to Fabian Farnol. This is going to be a foul here. A hard one going on Nawita Ferreguta from Haile Gabritinse. And even giving him a little bit of a piggyback ride, but safely landing him on the ground. It's going to be a free kick here for the Sidama Buna side. You can't quite say that anything has settled. It's a storm. It's the calm before the storm. And even for Haile Gabriel, he knows that this is the match in which everything has got to show off. Good return that Abubakar had, but that turn on the left foot was quite unexpected. He takes a deflection off Ashamo and spirals going into the net. Kasaya Rage in a good celebration with Ethiopia Buna's Abubakar Nasser, who ties the Ethiopian Premier League record at 25 goals. And he's probably now looking at how far he can go away from it. But there is the advice that has to be given now, Gilbert, on the water break.
Yeah, I would start with the Ethiopia Buna. I think they're making a lot of inroads. They've been given a lot of space and time to be able to maneuver and do exactly what they're going to do. So Abubakar Nasser, being the going-to man, I think he's really enjoying the freedom that is being accorded to him. For Sidama, there are three things they're not doing right. Emmanuel Ndale is not a natural fullback, and therefore he's going to be struggling, especially on the right-hand side. Two, when they move forward into the final third, they are really not giving their passes accurately, and I think that is the biggest problem. The third one is they need to close down the spaces.
Is that Sidama?
Yes, Sidama.
Oh, okay, and this man is finding a way of beating those spaces.
Yes, they've given him a lot of room. In fact, the whole team, they're moving the ball around, enjoying themselves, and really not in a hurry for the Ethiopia Buna side. So they need to close down those spaces.
Okay, for Ethiopia Buna, that's good news then.
It's
if they're
good
giving
news
him
for
a lot
them.
of space, then
Yes,
Abubakar Nasser will be very happy to utilize those spaces.
Absolutely, and they've now, they're in their default setting. They're enjoying what they're supposed to be doing right now. They like moving the ball around, and that's their kind of style of play.
Getting back into the game, then we'll see whether Abubakar Nasser can use those spaces or whether they will be able to cut them off altogether. But the advice has been given by the coaches as well on what needs to be done. Tilawan himself has been a little bit erratic, in my opinion, in that right-back position that he's also getting himself into, apart from just playing in the central defense. He keeps on roving down on the right where Haile Gabriel is as well. The defense moves as a zone, you know, together, but sometimes it doesn't, it's not working for them. It's back to Sunday Mutuku. Guta. He's got to play a game of his life today. Good one coming from Mamadou Sidibe. Gezahen gets onto it, turns it on to Yasar Mugerwa, who's got a chance for a shot again. Blocked off by Abebe Tilahun. And Dale was waiting for it. It bounces away from him. It's going to go out for another throw. That is going to be for the Sidama side. Fatuddin Jamal. And Sunday Mutuku playing very, very cautiously today, just making sure that almost on a second or third touch is giving the ball away for a successful pass. And Ndale brings it to Mugerwa. Gezahin then heads it again to Ndale. Back to Gezahin. And it comes all the way to Ashamo in the midfield. Mena brings it back to Dawitsa Feraguta. Good touches by Sidama. Well, enough people asking for that ball. You could hear it as the Ethiopia Buna defense also organizes itself and falls into their defensive formation. They force the Buna side, the Sidama Buna side, to take it back into their half. Mamadou Sidibe turns to face the ball, brings a very low one. Okiki Afolabi had a chance to turn. Then Yasar Mugerwa gives it a very hard shot. Here is Afolabi again. Mehari Mena, it's in the net. It counts. And Mehari Mena restores parity at the Awasa University Stadium. Mena's gone all the way to the coach. Today is going to be about the coaches and the scorers. The defenders are looking at what mistakes they made there. They just didn't clear the ball on time. 3 men trying to put the ball into the net in four different attempts. And ultimately, it is the defender, Mehari Mena, who puts it in the net. What a game we have here, Gilbert.
It's the time, the run of the Okiki Afolabi. Look at the time he takes his time. That is Sababotu said. And a good shot from Mugerwa. Another good shot from Gezahen. And they play to clear the lines. They might have been an offside, but at this particular point, Mehari Mena celebrates his first goal of the league.
Well, they play to the whistle and play to the flags as well, because this was already coming from the other side. Mehari Mena, who's all alone on the left side after a lot of attempts to try and get the balls out there, pushes it in on the left foot and changes the scoreline at the Hawassa University Stadium. Well, we have a match in our hands now, that it's restored to parity at 1-1. A big celebration from the defenders. Well, 31st minute goal by Mehari Mena. Kofi, Ethiopia Kofi 1. Sidama Kofi 1. Just going to go back into the midfield then. And in a game like this one, it's very hard match. You said earlier on, the mistakes you make in the defense will count towards whether you take the points or you lose the points. Very good. Ashamo is trying to catch up with something that was coming from the defense of the Ethiopia Buna side, who are now in a little bit of a hurry. Bringing it out to the right side. And out onto the flanks. We're going to have to keep a very close look at the table every time, because these are crunch matches. They change the way things go. And Kofi might just be in the second position if it ended like this. Stay in the same place with 37 points. So the only thing that will change there is the number of points. On the other side, the Sidama side will have stayed in the same place, but trying to catch up with Diradawa. It's a goal difference that will still be the one that will work against them.
But can I rightfully say that this league will end with some tears at the bottom?
Of course it will. I mean, there will be some people at the bottom there. Regardless of who they are, they will be there. Fanol knows it as well. He doesn't want to be one of those people with tears, so he wants to come into the center to take it himself. But the honest truth is that there are at least 2 or 3 teams that can get into the second position. if they work hard again, very hard. And then, but the honest truth is that there are at least 2 or 3 teams that can get into the second position if they work hard again, very hard. And then it depends on whether there are losses or wins as well. You can't do your mathematics pegged on how the other team will lose. You have to do mathematics pegged on how you will win your matches. At the moment, if all of them won their matches, Ethiopia Buna would end up at 45, St. George would end up at 42, and Adi would end up at 41. This comes again from the right side with a good attempt from Okiki Afolabi. Even when he's not on the mark, he is the man to mark, isn't he, Gilbert?
He's stamping his authority. You know, he puts in body in between him and Asran Tujo. His left foot only letting him down. But it just shows you a mark of a good striker. One half a chance, and he's buried it.
This is out on the left side then for the Ethiopia Buna, starting from their own half. They want to build it from behind. Abel Mamo takes a gamble in trying to get this ball to Haile Gabriel, but it works then. Alazar Shimelis got it down on the right side. Big run by Tafese Solomon. It's cut back for a 45. Abubakar Nasir was just looking to put his left foot there to try and see whether it goes into the net. Still in play. Again, Tafese Solomon will get onto it. Got enough men marking him, including Mamadou Sidibe. Yeah, there'll be some pensive moments here, of course. Tafese Solomon wanting the ball very quickly. Ashamo wanting to slow down a bit. Here is a tackle that I think he just went. He went down for a push that came from the big man who's coming from behind to pick up that ball. I was well within the referee to give it away. Mamadou Sidibe pushing from behind there, but it's just an unnecessary little altercation there on who's gonna put that ball down on the ground. A free kick to the Ethiopia Buna side. Very pensive moments, of course, in defenses, and of course the forward lines as well. Carved inwards towards Fanol, and again Fanol doesn't make that mistake that he did earlier of coming out too early and thinking that that ball is going to go over and trying to cover the distance between his defenders and himself, because that's how the other ball lobbed into the net. Sidibe. Well, it's going to be penalized for a foul here on Haile Gabriel. The big Malian has a deceptively slow pace of play whenever he's on the ball. But when he moves with speed and with a shot to boot, then you know his true capability. Abebe Tilahun sends it forward. Got 13 fouls in this game so far. This is too long for Abubakar Nasir. He gets onto it. Oh, there, history has been made again. Abubakar Nasir is now the all-time top scorer in the Ethiopian Premier League. And while defenders will be wondering how it happens, it is the same thing we talked about 2 minutes ago, of that space between the defenders and the goalkeeper, and Fabian Fanol trying to cover that. It looked like a ball that was far away from the striker, but speed works for him, and he manages to get onto it. Didn't look very dangerous. The goalkeeper is trying to cover that distance. Nobody else is going for it. One touch from Abubakar Nasir, and history has been made.
It's a good shot. It's a good finish. It's a good finish. 2 things that have happened. 1, the defenders give him space right in between them and the goalkeeper. 2, Fabian takes too much time to come out of his goal to narrow the Abubakar down, and history truly has been made.
Well, the
because
coach
of their own mistakes.
Very livid and unhappy about it, that history is being made on him. He knows the mistake has been made by the defenders. The goalkeeper is complaining that the defenders didn't go for that ball. The truth is they didn't. They thought they were playing the offside trap. And the mistakes that will be made are the ones that will change things here. Oh, Geza tries to go on his left foot. Then he just refuses to go in past the defenders. Tabu Geza was in the best of positions to be able to change things here. Oh, he's going to have to get back into the center now to try and win the possession from that side. Well, the Kofi side wanting to solidify their lead here, committing a foul. I think it's Dawita Ferguta who just was unable to put that ball into the net at that time. Tried to go on his left foot, and it just didn't work out. He
was a good one too.
Very good pass here.
Very good one too, and he cuts back in on his favorite foot. Mamo just puts his left foot in the path and just stops David from scoring, and his 5th goal of the league. That's a good cutback and good precision, but good goalkeeping by Mamo.
I think he was cut off very nicely by Mamo. He doesn't make the mistakes that have been made on this other side. Afolabi providing it again to Dawita Ferraguta. Well, good ball down on the right side to Gezain. Although he's veering off target, it's brought back. And a little header takes it away from Mamadou. Something that we said that when the ball comes onto either end, you expect them to finish it off with probably a shot towards goal. 2-1 the scoreline for the Ethiopia Buna side. And Abu Bakar Nasser, the toast of the side, the toast of the Ethiopian Premier League at the moment. Ashamo was just trying to stop everything that was going to their side. I think the goalkeeper is injured on the Ethiopia Buna side. And there will be a call on the physio, Isaac Schiffer, out to help him out a bit. The referee Belay today said, obliging to that. Goalkeepers are the most protected players on the field of play. Probably just a scratch from the diving that comes with being a goalkeeper as well. But if you see that troubling him, it's probably a little bit too much. I tell you, the pain that comes out of this, Gilbert. Have you ever had one of those things and then they put spirit in it? You know, methylated spirit.
Man, you don't even want them to put spirit there.
No, you never want them. They do it themselves. But
you can see the pain that he's going through just with, after you mentioned about the methylated spirit.
You can only laugh about it because you know just how painful it usually is. It's a sweet, painful sensation that you have to endure to dry it up and clean it up of bacteria. And then I hope that he can continue in the game. What a goal coming from Abubakar Nasir, and from speed. Sande Butuku is the one who's supposed to be covering that as well. He doesn't go to cover the goal area. It doesn't cut down Abubakar Nasir. And those mistakes were expected to be made. Meari Mena goes on the left side for Sidama Buna. Doesn't recover to pick up the rebound. Tafesi Solomon tried to bring it back into the midfield. Ashamo cuts it out to Yasser Mugerwa. A good one now coming from Sidibe to Gezahenya. Tries to lift it. It gets a little touch that will go out for a corner. Gezahenya is getting into some very tantalizing balls on that right side, but it's the delivery from there that we're not sure about.
Yeah, he's not, it's taking too much time to be able to bring in the right kind of cross.
This is a low one. Sidibe tries to bump it into his position. Alemante Casa takes it. This is going to be offside. Very visible from the far side. They tried a quick break here, but Tafesi Solomon was getting himself into an offside position. Well, Fano might just get himself in trouble as well. I think a yellow card comes to Tafesi Solomon. And interestingly, he is in the game. But that should be another yellow card that adds on to his tally altogether. And unless there's a little bit of a mistake here, but his tally is already at 5, isn't it?
I think he also got a yellow card in the last game they played against Bahadar.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
In the 20th minute. So this should be counting to 5. We'll confirm that. But if it is Tafesi Solomon, he's in a little bit of trouble as well. He might just miss the next game that he plays for Ethiopia Buna, who next will play Hadia, and then they finish off with Adama. The Sidama Buna side will next play Jima and finish off with Welaita. Sande Mutuku. And then Ashamo slows it down a bit. It's actually helped by Alazar Shimelis to go out for a corner. It's going to be for the Sidama Buna side. They had a big celebration when they won against St. George. It went around the Awasa city. You do remember that Awasa is the capital of Sidama province, so there was a big celebration for that. Getting the better of St. George was a big one. This is not yet out. And now it comes back into the midfield. It's going to go out for a throw-in now for the Sidama Buna side. They're giving as much as they're getting. The only other thing that you'll have to do now is use your chances to be able to get your goals. If you don't use your chances, you will lose the entire game.
You will, and especially for that big man, I think he needs to be a little bit more selfish. That is,
this is a small man.
Okiki. No, okay, I was talking about Okiki Afolabi. Yeah, he needs to be a little bit more selfish.
I told you William Solomon is a cheeky man. So you're talking about Okiki Afolabi, and William Solomon turns up and starts trotting on the field.
Yes, he's providing a lot of good feed, especially on the right-hand side for Gezaeng. But at times when you're in a scoring position, take a shot.
I'm not exactly sure why today he has opted to be very generous, Okiki Afolabi, but we'll talk about that when we see him on the ball. He has not taken a shot himself, has been the provider, but probably a way of, you know, just confusing the defenders as well, because they're used to him taking shots, and they may have decided that they will be cutting him out, so probably deciding that he will give them out instead. Gezaeng floats a nice one. Afolabi doesn't get to it, loses his footing in the process as well. Two headers that he has nodded, that he has tried to nod, didn't go the correct way. Playing the 44th minute of the game now. There isn't going to be much added time. I think for Kasai Arage, he might just be counting it as 1 or 2 minutes. What do you make of it, Gilbert, in this first half summation? Even as a kick it up at the edge of the box. Mamadou Sidibe is trying to get a turn here and a shot. Mamadou is a big man. By the time he's preparing to take a shot, you can know. But it doesn't take it accurately, Gilbert. Does it take a deflection for a corner? It doesn't it?
Again, another feed. I think it doesn't take.
I think it does. I think it does. Yeah, it takes a little deflection off. That's why it veers off target. Because from that area, Mamo is complaining. His men are not covering him. Yeah, for it to veer off like that, it must have taken a deflection from that angle. It's going to be for Sidama. A left foot delivery by Mihari. Man, nicely floated. Oh, it doesn't go through Mamo's feet. He cuts it out, and then the final touch pushes it out of the field of play. It's going to be another corner. Talk about action and end-to-end action, Gilbert.
I'm telling you, that should be a Shamo, and that's a return pass. That's a good clearance by the Ethiopia Buna defense line. Very defensive moments.
Yeah, and Ashabo didn't turn it in. It was very well cleared by Abel Mamo. Another corner. 3 corners on the trot that the Sidama Buna are pushing. This one, Mamo cuts out nicely, and then the big clearance comes in the nick of time. This one floats on the outside. It's going to go out for a throw-in, and this time it's going to be for Ethiopia Buna. So the defenders had better know that they need to come back to their area now, especially the Sidama Buna defenders. 2-1. In an entertaining, albeit very mental game that these two teams are playing, Gilbert. Your summation of it?
It's a pulse-setting game.
Pulse-setting?
Yes,
okay.
It is a pulse-setting game.
We probably will be going for the whistle any moment now. But Ethiopia Buna know that every chance counts here. This is chested down by Fetudin. I think he handles it. It's right in front of the referee, and a handball has been given. So there's some things you can't complain about. The ref was right in front of you. The captain has got to calm down.
Oh yeah, he knows. He knows it.
I'm sure if we were to see this again, you would see the handball very easily. It's going to be a free kick here for the Ethiopia Buna side, who need to get to 45 as a maximum, at least to get to the second position and play in the Confederations Cup as well. But you've just been watching history being set as well here. Abubakar Nasser exceeding the goal tally of the club, Ethiopia Buna, in all-time scoring. And then tying the all-time scoring record of the Ethiopian Premier League at 25, and then surpassing it now and becoming the all-time top scorer in just one game. It's a very historic game. This is going to be a yellow card here to Al-Azhar Shimelis. I think it's just unnecessarily wasting time to wait for the half-time whistle to go. But the international referee, Belay Tadesse, knows these games very well. And now it's left for a throw-in for Haile Gabritin. Say, Abubakar picks it up easily. And Ale cuts it out. That's the whistle at half-time. You have just been witnessing history being made at the Awasa University Stadium by Ethiopia Buna's Abubakar Nasser, exceeding the all-time goal-scoring record of the Ethiopia Buna side, tying and then exceeding the all-time scoring record of the Ethiopia Premier League. And this is not over yet. We'll see what happens in the second half, but at the halftime break with Fetro Days still complaining about something that happened there. Ethiopia Coffee 2, Sidama Coffee 1. It's halftime.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to WWE. And he jumps over.
Go all in for the best in sports entertainment. All on DSTV.
አሳልፈዋል። አቡበከር ናስር ለኢትዮጵያ ቡና ያስቆጠራቸው 2 ጎሎች በኢትዮጵያ ፕሪሚየር ሊግ ታሪክ የምንጊዜም ኮከብ ግብ አግቢነት ክብርን ከጌታነህ ከበደ እንዲረከብ ምክንያት ሆኗል። የመጀመሪያው 45 ደቂቃ የኢትዮጵያ ቡና 2-1 መሪነት የተጠናቀቀ ነው። ነገር ግን ትልቁ ነጥብ የኢትዮጵያ ፕሪሚየር ሊግ የኮከብ ግብ አግቢነት ሪከርድ ከ4 ዓመታት በኋላ መሰበሩ ነው። በጨዋታው 45 ደቂቃ የነበሩ ሂደቶችን 3ቱንም ጎሎች ጨምሮ ምስልና የቁጥር ማስረጃዎችን እየተመለከትን ስለ መጀመሪያው 45 ደቂቃ ቆይታ እናደርጋለን። ከመኮንን ኃይሉ ጋር ቆይታ እናደርጋለን። የመጀመሪያው የዲኤስቲቪ ዓመት የኮከብ ግብ አግቢነት ሪከርድ ሰብሯል።
አዎ የአቡበከር ናስር በጣም የተለየ የውድድር ዘመን እየተመለከትን ነው። 26ኛው ጎሉ ላይ ደርሷል። ዛሬ በአንድ የውድድር ዘመን በ21 ጨዋታ ነው 26 ጎል ላይ ደረሰው። ገና ቀሪ ጨዋታዎች አሉትና ከዚህ በላይ ተጨማሪ ጎሎችን የሚያስቆጥርበት አጋጣሚም ከፊቱ ይጠብቀዋል። ኢትዮጵያ ቡና የአቡበከር ናስር ቡድን ይመስላል። አቡበከር ናስር በሁሉም የጨዋታ እንቅስቃሴዎች ተጽዕኖ ካልፈጠረ በስተቀር ኢትዮጵያ ቡና ጨዋታዎችን ለማሸነፍ ሲቸገር ያስተዋልንባቸው እንቅስቃሴዎች አሉ። ዛሬ የኢትዮጵያ ቡና ሁሉም ነገር አቡበከር ናስር ነበር። 45 ደቂቃ ላይ
በመጀመሪያው 45 ደቂቃ ውጤት ጨዋታው የሚጠናቀቅ ከሆነ ኢትዮጵያ ቡና 39 ነጥብ ላይ ይገባል። ሲዳማ ቡና 24 ላይ ይቆያል። ይህ ማለት ግን ቀጣዮቹ 45 ደቂቃዎች ውጤታቸው ሳይታወቅ በመጀመሪያው 45 ደቂቃ ውጤት ብቻ ማለት ነው። የመጀመሪያው 45 ደቂቃ ምን ነበር ስንል የምናወራው ስለ አቡበከር ናስር ጎሎች ይሆናል። በቅድሚያ ጎል በማስቆጠር በጨዋታው መክፈቻ ደቂቃ ላይ አቡበከር ናስር 25ኛውን ከጌታነህ ከበደ ጋር እኩል የሚያደርገውን ጎል ማስቆጠር የቻለው በዚህ መንገድ ነበር።
የሲዳማ ቡና የተከላካይ መስመር ተጫዋቾች መዘናጋትን በሚገባ መጠቀም ችለዋል። ከዚያ ባሻገር አቡበከር ናስር ይቺ ጎል ስትቆጠር እድለኝነትን በጥቂቱ ነበረችበት። ምክንያቱም ኳሷ ተጨርፋ ነበርና ግብ ጠባቂው ኳሱን በጠበቀበት አንግል አይደለም የተቆጠረው። መጨረሻ ላይ ኳሱ መረቡ ላይ ሲያርፍ ነው ጎሉ መቆጠሩን ያረጋገጥ ነው እንጂ ኳሱ የሚወጣ ይመስል ነበርና ፋቢያን ፋርኖሌም ምንም አይነት እድል አልነበረውም። አቡበከር ናስር ግን ሳጥን ውስጥ የትኛውንም ትንሽዬ ስፔስ ስጠው፣ ክፍት ቦታ ስጠው ያንን በሚገባ መጠቀም ይችላል። በጭንቅላቱ ግብ አስቆጥሯል። ከቆመ ኳስ ግብ አስቆጥሯል። በቀኝ እግሩ በግራ እግሩ በሁሉ አቡበከር ናስር ሁሉም ነገር የተሟላለት ምርጥ አጥቂ እንደሆነ ያሳየበት ነው።
በግራ እግሩ ያስቆጠራት ጎል 25ኛ ጎሉ ነበረች። ጎሉን ካስቆጠረ በኋላ ወደ አሰልጣኝ ካሳይ አራጌ በመምጣት ምስጋና አቅርቧል። ከጎሉ በኋላ ከጨዋታው በፊት በስነ ልቦና ደረጃ ጫና እንደነበር አሰልጣኝ ካሳይ ገልጿል። ከዚህ አኳያ በእርግጥም ጎሉ ከአሰልጣኙ ጫና በተጫዋቾች ላይ ካለው ጫና አንጻር ከዛ ጋር የሚገናኝ ይመስላል።
ምንም ጥያቄ የለውም። ባለፉት 4 ጨዋታዎች ቡድኑ ማሸነፍ አልቻለም። ከዛ አንጻር አሰልጣኝ ካሳይ አራጌ ጫና ውስጥ መሆኑ ብዙ የሚያስገርም አይደለም።
ብዙ የኳስ ሙከራዎችን ማድረግ ችለው ነበር ሲዳማ ቡናዎች። ነገር ግን ጎል ማስቆጠር የቻሉት በዚህኛው የጨዋታ ሂደት ነው። መሀሪ መና ያልተጠበቀው የሲዳማ ቡና ጎል አስቆጣሪ ሆኗል በዛሬው ጨዋታ ላይ።
አማኑኤል እንዳልና መሀሪ መና ዛሬ በጣም ወደፊት እየተጠጉ ነው የተጫወቱ የሚገኙት። አብዛኛውን ጊዜያቸውን በኢትዮጵያ ቡና የሜዳ አጋማሽ ላይ ያሳለፉት። በሲዳማ ቡና በኩል ዛሬ በርካታ የግብ ዕድሎችን አግኝተዋል። ነገር ግን ወደ ግብነት የመቀየር ችግርም የተስተዋለበት ነው። በእርግጥ እቺ ኳስ ስትቆጠር የመጨረሻው ንክኪ ከማማዱ ሲዲቤ የተነካች በመሆኑ ምክንያት መሀሪ መና ከጨዋታ ውጭ ነበርና ጎሏ መዝደቅ አልነበረባትም።
መሀሪ መና ኳሱ ከመሰጠቱ በፊት ከጨዋታ ውጭ እንቅስቃሴ ላይ ነበር። ነገር ግን ሁለተኛው መስመር ዳኛ አልተመለከቱትም። የጸደቀ ጎል ሆኗል። ወደ ጨዋታው መመለስ ችሏል። መሀሪ መና ከጎሉ በኋላ ያሳየው እንቅስቃሴ ጎል ለማስቆጠር ለማሸነፍ የተለየ ስሜት ላይ ሲዳማ ቡናዎች እንዳሉ የሚያሳይ ነበር። ከዚህ በኋላ በኢትዮጵያ ፕሪሚየር ሊግ ታሪክ ለረጅም ጊዜ የሚታወስ 26ኛ ጎል አቡበከር ናስር አስቆጥሯል። ዊሊያም ሰለሞን ለጎሉ መቆጠር ሁነኛ አስተዋጽኦ ነበረው።
ይሄ የዊሊያም ሰለሞን ኳስ በጣም አስደናቂ ነው። ከዛ ውጭ ግን የአቡበከር ናስርን ሩጫ ተመልከተው ሰይድ። ተጫዋቹ ምን ያክል ብልህ እንደሆነ ኳሱ የቱ ጋር ሊያርፍ እንደሚችል ኤክስፔክቴሽኑን በደንብ የሚነግረን ነው። በእርግጥ እቺ ኳስ ስትቆጠር የግብ ጠባቂው ፋቢያን ፋርኖሌና የተከላካዩ አለመግባባት እንዳለ ሆኖ ግን ግብ ጠባቂው ትልቁን ስህተት ሰርቷል ብዬ አስባለሁ። አቡበከር ናስር ግን ፍጥነቱ፣ ቅልጥፍናው ክፍት ቦታውን ስፔሱን ኤክስፕሎይት ለማድረግ የሄደበት መንገድ በጣም አስደናቂ ነው። አቡበከር ናስር ከኢትዮጵያ ፕሪሚየር ሊግ በተሻለ ሊግ መጫወት የሚያስችል አቅም ያለው የኢትዮጵያ ፕሪሚየር ሊግ የማይመጥነው ተጫዋች ይመስለኛል።
ዊሊያም ሰለሞን የሰጠበት መንገድም በዚሁ የተመጠነ ኳስ የት እንደሚደርስ አውቆ ነበር የሰጠው። በጨዋታው 45 ደቂቃ ጥሩ እንቅስቃሴ ካደረጉ አማካይ ስፍራ ተጫዋቾች መካከልም አንዱ ነው። አሰልጣኝ ገብረመድህን ኃይሌን ያበሳጨ ነበረ። በሌላ በኩል ደግሞ በቡድን ውስጥ ከሚገኙ በሜዳ ውስጥ ከሚገኙ አጭርና ቀጭን ተጫዋቾች መካከል አንዱ ዳዊት ተፈራ ነው። ሲዳማ ቡና በኩል ወሳኝ እንቅስቃሴ ከሚያደርጉ ተጫዋቾች መሃል አንዱ ነው። ሙከራ አድርጓል።
የሁለተኛው ጎል በአቡበከር ናስር ከተቆጠረ ከጥቂት ሰከንዶች በኋላ ነው ይሄኛው እንቅስቃሴ የተጀመረው። ከኦኪኪ አፎላቢ ጋር ጥሩ መግባባት ፈጥረው ነበር ኳሱን ወደ ሳጥን ውስጥ መውሰድ የቻሉት። ነገር ግን የዳዊት ተፈራ አጨራረስ ትንሽ ደካማ ይመስለኛል። ምክንያቱም ከዚህ በተሻለ ወደ ግብነት መቀየር የሚችልበት እድል ነበረው። በኢትዮጵያ ቡና በኩል ዛሬ ተከላካይ መስመሩ ትንሽ መረጋጋት ይታይበታል። በተለይ ጥንቃቄን መርጧል። ከዛ አንጻር ወደ ኋላ ብዙ ያፈገፈጉ ቢሆንም እንደዚህ አይነት ክፍት ቦታዎች ላይ ግን ለአጥቂዎቹ ወደ ጎል እንዲሞክሩ ብዙ ስፔሶችን ይሰጡ ነበርና ያንን በደንብ መመልከት ይኖርባቸዋል።
የአቤል ማሞ ኳስ የመመለስ የንቃት እንቅስቃሴም በዚህ እንቅስቃሴ ላይ የሚደነቅ ነበር። ሲዳማ ቡና ጎል ከተቆጠረበት በኋላ ከሁለተኛው ጎል በኋላ በርካታ የማጥቃት እንቅስቃሴዎችን አድርጓል። ከነዚህ መካከል ከማዕዘን የተሻገረውን ኳስ በዚህ መንገድ የመጨረሻው 45 ደቂቃ ሙከራ ሆኗል።
የሲዳማ ቡና አንደኛው አደገኛው የጨዋታ መንገድ የአየር ላይ ኳስ አጠቃቀማቸው ነው። ነገር ግን የግብ ጠባቂው አቤል ማሞን የመለሰውን ኳስ መጠቀም አልቻሉም። በተለይ የሲዳማ ቡና 2-3 ተጫዋቾች ኳሱ ከተመለሰ በኋላ አጠገቡ ናቸው፣ ግን መጠቀም አልቻሉም። አቤል አሁንም በድጋሚ ሌላ ጎል ሊሆን የሚችል አደገኛ ኳስን ያዳ ነው። እንግዲህ በቡድን ውስጥ ኳሱን መስቶ ለመጫወት ለሚፈልገው ኢትዮጵያ ቡና ምቹ ተጫዋች እንደሆነ ይታወቃል። ከዛ ውጭ ግን ሾት ስቶፐር መሆኑንም በደንብ እያሳየ ነው።
ብርሃኑ አሻሞ በግንባር ኳሷ መግጨት ችሎ ነበር። የመጀመሪያ 45 ደቂቃ በርካታ ሙከራዎች የተደረጉበት ነው። በድምር 15፣ ሲዳማ ቡና ደግሞ 11 ሙከራዎችን አድርጓል። ከአራት ሙከራዎች አራቱ ኢላማቸውን መጥተዋል በኢትዮጵያ ቡና፣ ከ11ዱ አራቱ በሲዳማ ቡና። የኳስ ቁጥጥር 56 ከመቶ ኢትዮጵያ ቡና ይበልጣል።
በኢትዮጵያ ቡና የሜዳ አጋማሽ ላይ 42 በመቶ የኳስ ቁጥጥር አለና ይሄ ብዙ ያልተለመደ ይመስለኛል። ከመሀል ሜዳ ይልቅ በኢትዮጵያ ቡና የሜዳ አጋማሽ ላይ ነው አብዛኛው የጨዋታ እንቅስቃሴ ያለው። ይሄ የሲዳማ ቡናን ጫና በደንብ የሚያሳይ ነው ብሎ መናገር ይቻላል። የማጥቃት እንቅስቃሴዎቻቸውን በሁለቱም ቡድኖች በኩል ያለውን ስንመለከት ሲዳማ 16 የማጥቃት ሙከራዎችን አድርጓል። አብዛኞቹ በቀኝ መስመር በኩልና መሀል ለመሀል የተደረጉ ናቸው። በተለይ አጥቂዎቹ ወደ ቀኝ መስመር በሚወጡበት ጊዜ እንደዚህ አይነት የማጥቃቶችን በብዙ ፈጥረው ተመልክተናል።
የሲዳማ ቡና ጨዋታ የሞት ሽረት ነው። ላለመውረድ የሚደረግ ትንቅንቅ ነው። ከተጠባባቂ ወንበር ላይ ተነስተው ይህን ጨዋታ መቀየር የሚችሉ ተጫዋቾች በኢትዮጵያ ቡናም በሲዳማ ቡና በኩል እየተመለከተ ነው።
በኢትዮጵያ ቡና በኩል ከአቡበከር ናስር ውጪ ሀብታሙ ታደሰ ወይም ደግሞ አላዛር ሽመልስ ብዙ ስኬታማ ጊዜን አሳልፈዋል ብዬ አላስብም እና ምናልባት አቤል ከበደ ወደ ሜዳ የሚገባበት የሜዳ አጋማሽ ሊሆን ይችላል። ከዛ ውጭ ግን ፍቅረ ኢየሱስ ተክለ ብርሃንም እዚህ የጨዋታ እንቅስቃሴ ላይ ያስፈልጋቸዋል ብዬ አስባለሁ። በሲዳማ ቡና በኩል ይገዙ ቦጋለ፣ ያሬድ ከበደ አማራጮች ናቸው። አሁን ቡድኑ የሚያስፈልገው ጎሎችን ማስቆጠር የሚችል የአጥቂ መስመሩን የሚያጠናክርና ሶስተኛው የሜዳ ክፍል ላይ ቡድኑ ያለበትን የመጀመሪያ አጋማሽ ክፍተት የሚደፍን መሆን አለበት።
የድሬዳዋ ወይም የወልቂጤ ሰው ብትሆን ወይ አሰልጣኝ ብትሆን ይሄ ጨዋታ በዚህ ውጤት እንዲያልቅ ነው የምታስበው። እነሱ በጭንቀት እያዩት ነው። ክቡራን ተመልካቾቻችን ሁለተኛው 45 ደቂቃ ከደቂቃዎች በኋላ ይጀመራል። ከዛ በፊት ግን የኢትዮጵያ ፕሪሚየር ሊግ ኮከብ ግብ አግቢነት ፉክክር በአቡበከር ናስር 26 ጎል ሪከርድ ሰባሪነት ቀጥሏል። በቀጣዮቹ 45 ደቂቃዎች ምን ያህል ጎሎችን ያስቆጥሯል የሚለው የሚጠበቅ ነው። ከሙጂብ ቃሲም በ7 ጎሎች ርቀት ላይ ይገኛል። ትላንት ምሽት በኢትዮጵያ ብሔራዊ ቡድን ሽልማት ስነ ስርዓት ጌታነህ ከበደ 30 ጎሎችን ለኢትዮጵያ ብሔራዊ ቡድን በማስመዝገብ የተለየ ሽልማት ተበርክቶለት ነበር። ዛሬ ደግሞ ሪከርዱ በአቡበከር ናስር እጅ ውስጥ ገብቷል። ቀጣዮቹ 45 ደቂቃዎች ምን ያሳዩናል? ኢትዮጵያ ቡና ያሸንፋል ወይ ሲዳማ ቡና ወደ ጨዋታው ይመለሳል? አቡበከር ናስርስ ምን ያህል ጎል ያስቆጥራል? አብረን የምንመለከት ይሆናል።
Welcome back to the Awasa University Stadium. The scoreline at halftime, Ethiopia Coffee 2, Sidama Coffee 1. In a match that could go either way. A match that is required by both sides badly to be able to solidify their positions. The Ethiopia Buna side wanting to solidify their Confederations Cup chances up at the front. And the Sidama Buna side wanting to solidify their chances of running away from relegation. They had a big win against St. George that convinces them that they can take on another big player, another big team as well today. And that could get them further away from the relegation zone. They are currently with 24 points, and they're being chased very closely by Wolkite at 21. It's a question of every of those two teams winning their matches to get all the points from everything they are playing. And for Ethiopia Buna side, they're also being chased by Hadia Osaina and St. George. And that means also winning all their remaining matches. Ethiopia Buna next play Hadia, and then they'll play Adama. And the Sidama Buna side will next play Jima and then play Wilaita. So crunch matches are still there. As the Ethiopia Buna brings in the ball at the moment, the Sidama Buna side bringing the ball, they know the responsibilities, they know they've missed a couple of chances, and they are hoping they can be able to capitalize on those ones. I am Bernardo Tieno in the company of Gilbert Salebwa to take you through the next very decisive 45 minutes for Ethiopia Buna, and equally so for the Sidama Buna side. They obviously will have discussed a little bit of what they need to do in the second half, Gilbert. We've also talked about what we think they should do. But do you think they're following our advice, or they have a mind of their own as well?
I think on the Ethiopia Buna side is a question of speeding up the game and getting moving even further ahead for Sidama Buna, it's just a question of, slowing down the Ethiopia Buna midfield and therefore cutting out the supply to Abubakar Nasir.
Asrat Tunjo has been fouled by Tamu Gezahen. It's going to be a free kick for the Ethiopia Buna side. The Ethiopia Buna having gone back into the slow game, pushing the ball around, which is the hallmark of their game. And for the most successful team in the Ethiopian Premier League, they really do need to get back into the ways. In the last matches that they played, in the last 7 matches, they won only 2 of them, lost 2 of them, and drew 3 of them. That wasn't a very good record for the team itself. As the ball goes down on the right side, chased by the very big runs of Tafese Solomon. Doesn't get there. I think Tafese Solomon must have served a suspension for one of the yellow cards, so that might not be the correct tally of yellow cards that we mentioned earlier. In one game, he was received a second yellow card as he was walking off the field after the game, and I think he turned into a red card and he served the suspension for that. So it might just be 3 or 4 cards that he's got in the yellow at the moment. We'll confirm that as well with the Federation. That's why he's still eligible to play in today's game. It's going to be a throw in this one. Free kick rather for the Ethiopia Buna side. 47th minute of the game. Put it back into the midfield. Gezahen. Kick here for Labi. Gets a little head onto it. Here is Dawite Feraguta. Is put through Mamadou Sidibe. But a good takeoff by Ebel Mamu. Comes off his line to clear it before Sidibe gets onto that one. They're taking a little bit too long sometimes to shoot when they're within the box here, but the Sidama Buna side.
Yeah, I think Feraguta should have given a quality pass. The pass was too hard, and for Sidibe to be able at least to get onto it.
Fetudin starts it again from his side. And to Abtamu Gezahen. A kick here for Larbi. Again, another one for Mamadou Sidibe directly into the box. Abebe Tilahun just making sure that Sidibe will not get to it. Afolabi has decided to turn provider, Gilbert.
Yeah, in today's game, he is really literally not taking shots. And, he's got some good power in those feet.
No, unless there is a problem, the instinct should kick in immediately when he's in a good position. So unless there's something else that is ailing Okiki Afolabi, which we might not be party to, it's just the natural instinct of a striker to turn and take a shot. We'll find out whether there's something else going on more than what we know at the moment. Haile Gabremedin crafted a big win against St. George. He previously drew with Sabeta, won against Awasa 3-1, lost to Diredar 1-0, and then lost to Fasil 2-1. Had won against Walkite and had won against Sidama. But he was severing the big win against the St. George side by the time he was coming into this match. On the other side, the Ethiopia Buna side were, reeking from a draw against Bahar Dar, in the previous draw against Walaita, and another draw earlier on against Jima. Not a very good run at that time. This is Mamo again, who pushes it back into the midfield. Abubakar Nasser very quick on the takeoff as usual, looking for a through ball here. Well, Emmanuel Ndale is forced to push it far off on the right side and to tuck it out for safety. I think he's running out of gas as well, Emmanuel Ndale, and he knows there was 2 pairs of black stockings that were trying to pick up that ball. He thought the easiest thing is to just send it out. Very pensive moments for coaches and for Kasaya Rage especially. They're both under pressure anyway. The pressure couldn't be on one side. When there's pressure on the top, there'll be pressure at the bottom as well. Tafera Guta to Okiki Afolabi. Good dummy, and then pushes it to Mamadou Sidibe, who often seems to have a little problem turning to face the ball where it is going to if he has taken off in a particular direction. Very difficult to pull himself back every time. Gezahen to Ashamo. A long ball back to the goalkeeper, Fabien Fanot. Pushes it onto the left side to Sande Mutuku. And then Ashamo pushes it to Tafera Guta. Now they've got a better way of getting through the midfield. This comes to Abtamu Gezahen. Long ball down on the left side. Well, Mehari Mena catches up with it, plays it to Mamadou. Mamadou Mamadou is fouled. But he was just running already, veering off the target, and he was most likely going to lose position.
Those are very casual runs. You know, the instinct should be heading straight to the goal, but he's actually moving into what we call not a diagonal run, but away from the goal and easily dispossessed.
Yeah, he was just pushed off the rails a bit there, loses the advantage as well.
But away from the goal and easily dispossessed.
Kept the advantage, play would have continued. But the result of that is that his left foot gets in the way of that move, and a free kick has been given to the Sidama Buna side. Yeah, very tense game as well. He header into the hands of Abel Mamo. Not a problem to him at all. The striker's not troubling the goalkeeper at all.
There's no power. There's really no power behind that header by Okiki Afolabi. The two big strikers not being assertive in this game so far.
Well, Mamo equally getting into a good position to pick it up. It's because off the field of play, it's going to be another throw-in. It's going to be for the Sidama Buna side. They started at the back. Fetudin Jamal just pushing it, hoping that someone would latch onto it. Tafera Guta's pass on whatever instructions that have been given at halftime to target Mamadou and not Okiki Afolabi from Tafera Guta is being employed in a very legible way. It can be seen, it can be very easily read.
It can be easily read. And the final pass for Buna in the first few minutes of the second half has really been a big letdown.
Fetudin trying to get it to Okiki Afolabi, easily taken by Asra Tunjo. And then a good time to try and get it to the man up at the front, Abubakar Nasir. Sisande Mutuku watching the right flank, not delivering a successful pass to Abtamu Gezahen. This is now Abtamu Tadese. He's got the company of William Solomon closest to him. Yeah, gets the ball to him. Solomon delays in the delivery of that, and it's easily taken by Sidama Buna. Yasser Mugerwa now decides to move through the midfield. Abtamu brings the cross, again a little bit too long, too high. It goes straight out of the field of play, being watched out by Abel Mamo. After a good build-up on the right side, the finish in the final third is not good.
It is not good. It is not good, and that is something that should be troubling Gabriel Medine in the Sidama Buna dugout.
The finish is not very well crafted, should be worked out better. As Ethiopia Buna bring the build-up again from the right side now. This is going to be a foul that will be given to the Ethiopia Buna side. It's the 53rd, 54th minute of the game. The foul committed by Dawid Tafere Guta. Today he's been at the end of a couple of illegal tackles for some reason. It's not very confident in his dribbling skills in the midfield. Fanol will take this one. Wants to start it up at the front. Doesn't want to spend time with it on his side. Abebe Tilaun brings it back. And then Tafera Guta picks it up at the center. Mena back to Guta. Mugeru with a little punch for it. Okiki Afolabi is trying to get it onto his favored left foot. It comes back to the center for Mamadou. He takes time and he puts it in the net. And Sidama are level again. What again. And Sidama are level again. What a game at the Hawassa University Stadium, with probably the best and the most accurate build-up coming from behind. The Sidama Buna side ultimately taking the attention away from Okiki Afolabi, who veers off on the left side and bringing it back. Mayari Mena finds Mamadou, who lifts it up slightly and punches it into the net.
It's a good finish. He's all alone by himself. He picks a spot. He's got very good technique. His power behind the ball. The precision is there. And what a finish for Mamadou Sidibé for his 6th goal of the league.
Well, Bebatila is very livid about the fact that the defense was not watching out very well. Abel Mamo is totally beaten to it. But for Mamadou Sidibé, he restores parity. 4 goals that we have seen so far. Ethiopia Coffee 2. Sidama 2. We still have a game in our hands. And a big game for that matter. There's still 25 minutes. There's still a good number of minutes to be played here. They made a quick substitution. And they brought in Kebede, Abel Kebede, into the game. A forward who's played 17 games altogether is playing his 18th game, Gilbert. He's the man they are bringing in now.
Yeah, I think since Aptamo Tedese came from the injury, he's really not been himself. And I think at this particular point, they want somebody who's going to be assertive, especially on the left-hand side of the attack, to provide the required oomph up front.
Well, for the Sidama side, it's all about going on a full attack. Gezahen was going to cut back for sure, so that was very easily read as well. That's the new substitute, Abel Kebede, who's managed to get onto that position. Well, Sidama trying to get onto this position. Ashamo picks it up. Is looking for a cross. Manages to bring a very light one into the box. Doesn't get to where his strikers were. The Ethiopia Buna side as well, trying to get the ball to Abubakar Nasser. Again, that becomes easily legible. Fetudin cuts off Abubakar Nasser's feed. Mugerwa pushes it to Meari. And that becomes easily legible. Fetudin cuts off who's becoming a very integral part of the Sidama Buna side. Joined them just in the mid-season. Here is an attempt at a header. The flag has stayed down with everybody lifting their hands up. Here is a shot that takes a deflection. It's going to go out for a corner. Tafera Guta has not had a chance of taking a powerful, accurate shot ever since he started, Gilbert.
Well, that's the way to do it. You know, you're leading, you're just tied the game, and at this particular point, Tafera Guta finds space, and that's a good defending principle by the Ethiopia Buna central defenders.
This is going to be a corner. He's had 3 chances to score today, Dawit Tafera Guta. I think they're listening to what the men in the dugout are saying. The 4th official has been there as well, and I think the referee has called out one of the players. He's on the Sidama side. Gatkut seems to be the man being singled out here. Gatkut has been out on an injury, has not played in the last 2 matches. He usually plays in the central defense. There's a problem here, so Gatkut gets a yellow card. They say a lot of things on the bench there. And at a time like this, when things can go either way, you can imagine what is said. In there. And at a time like this, when things can. Now that is a very difficult situation for Gatkut, because that's a 5th yellow card in my count. And that means he misses the next game when they play Jima. He's been out on injury. And even if he was fit now, he'll not play Jima in the next match. Left foot in swinger. It takes the post and goes off the field of play. It was coming from Meari Mena. Cut it too close to the corner. It's going to be a goal kick. What a game, Gilbert.
Well, I'm telling you, Bernard, and that's a good stop. That is a sheer hard work by Okiki Afolabi. That's sheer hard work. Menari just on the spot, and what a way to finish for Mamadou Sidibé.
Oh, he lifted up in quite some style, then pumps it into the net. That is usually a tact that he has perfected. Whether on target or off target, he's got a way of lifting the ball up and then trying to go for it. Well, Abtamu Gezahen working hard enough to pick up the position here for Sidama. Ashamo looks around, makes sure there's nobody attacking him, but gives away the possession. There's an attempt to get it to Abubakar Nasser. Does a better job of bringing it to the left side. And Tafese Solomon rather will come out with it. Fetudin pushes it off the field of play for a throw-in. It's going to be for the Ethiopia Buna side. As you can imagine by now, there are some very, very edgy nerves in this game. With the scoreline at 2-2 and with 30 minutes still on the clock. This is going to be a throw-in, says the assistant. And it's going to be for Ethiopia Buna. Solomon brings it back to the center. Abubakar Nasser trying to go past Sunday Mutuku, who this time round has a good control of the ball and then clears it from his area. Meari Mena.
It's actually Ndale.
Oh, I beg your pardon, that's Ndale. Oh, pardon me for that loss of concentration there. It's Emmanuel Ndale on the right side. And a throw-in that's going to be for Sidama. Just trying a way of getting out of their area now. Tunjo. Oh, gives that through, but it's going to be offside. It comes from the defender. It shouldn't have been offside.
It is not an offside.
It comes from the defender himself. Giving the ball back.
It is not an offside.
Absolutely no offside there. It comes from the defender. He is onside. By the time this ball comes, even if he was playing for the other side, it wouldn't be offside. But this comes from a defender. The Sidama side will feel a little bit aggrieved at that.
That's very good.
That's some of those things that you make very last-minute decisions of. And I think Fasika Iwashalet is thinking about it again and wondering why that went up like that.
It took him off guard. It took him off guard, even the first assistant.
Yes, Feraguta who's picked it up again, and a foul has been given to the Ethiopia Buna side. The ball came off the defender. We've already gone past that, so that's a mistake by the referee. It's going to be a free kick. It's going to be for the Ethiopia Buna side to take it from the right side of the attack. The right side of defense, rather. Oh, it's going to be a lot of things you have to watch out for in a game like this one. And a free kick there. That will form a little bit of what will be discussed. Can it be offside if the pass is coming from a defender? And whether or not he was playing for, even if he was playing for the Ethiopia Buna side, he wouldn't have been offside anyway. Solomon's trying to get onto this one. And heads the ball back to his goalkeeper, Fabian Farnola. I'm not usually very comfortable when defenders start doing that, Gilbert. And especially if Sunday Mutuku starts doing that. When they start knocking onto the strikers up at the front, it always gives an impression of now some frantic defending.
No, I think what he did is just he uses his header at this point.
Yeah, but he bangs onto Solomon. And I'm telling you that it worries, because you must also think about the rebound. What if that rebound goes away? You need to get back to it as a defender. So it worries when defenders start acting like that. Fetudin Jamal and Sunday Mutuku are the central defenders there. And then they've got Meari Mena on the left. And they also have Emmanuel Ndale on the right. Big one down to the right side. Headed back by Mehari. It's going to go out for a throw-in. And it's going to be for the Ethiopia Buna side. 2-2 is the scoreline. And that's why there will be anger of volcanic proportions every time something that doesn't go your way. Abtamu, good footwork getting himself out of the midfield, but then pushing it too far away. It's picked up by Abel Kebere. Tunjo leaving it to Kebere. And Dale easily picks up this one. He wasn't expecting to get to it. I think we got by Abtamu Geza on the ground injured. And fair play is one thing that the Ethiopian Premier League upholds in very high degree. They send the ball out to get the attention on Abtamu Gezahen. Same time, the Ethiopia Buna side make a substitution, and they bring in Yabikal Fereja for Astra Tunjo. Yabikal's just playing his 5th match today. He's a forward as well. He's replacing a national team player, Astra Tunjo, who's a defender. So how are they going to line up on that one, Gilbert?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a tactical change, because Yabikal is a forward. And we just wait and see whether there's going to be a little twitch in the midfield, just to see whether he can be able to galvanize the potential Yabikal Fereja as a striker.
Guta having some very crucial touches in today's, the last few minutes game, after he previously wasn't providing them well enough. Pushed back by Fetudin Jamal. Here is Yasa Mugerwa. The big Ugandan midfielder trying to make inroads here. Not a good return by Mamadou Sidibe to Okiki Afolabi. I still think Okiki Afolabi has a problem by the time he came into this game that is stopping him from going out in his full potential. He might have just been in the game for intimidation purposes, just for the mentality of the players and to trouble the defenders as well.
Absolutely, Bernard. I think his main...
Yeah, he is again. He's pushed off that one.
Yeah, his mainstay in this game today was just to be a provider's role. He's really not been the go-to striker, as we have already known him.
Harry Mena. Tafere Guta brings it back to Yasar Mugerwa. And then to Sande Mutuku. You know, Sunday equally takes a little time and gives an indication of where he's going to take the ball to. So it becomes so easy to know that he's going to push it in that direction, rather than just taking it all together. He often has this intention of telling people where to go, and by that time you've already been singled out, and that's why an offside flag would be very easy to go up there at that time. Sidibe was a guilty man in that. Emmanuel Ndale. And back into the midfield to Fetudin Jamal, trying to punch it on the right side. Okiki Afolabi now getting onto the back of it, playing the role of a distributor here. Fetudin will pick it up again from what would have been an easy loss of ball. This one will go all the way to Abel Mamo. Start it from his side. It's going to be in a hurry because time is of the essence. So Sidama have done well to cut off the midfield that is supplying Abubakar Nasser. But they haven't done so well in converting those cut-offs up at the front for their side to be able to turn them into chances for themselves. Tilaun has the last touch on this one. It's going to be given out for a free kick, for a foul on a Bebe Tilaun. There's always a lot of tussling for the ball here, and Meari Mena knows it as well. He could have been going against Tilaun. It's just that he goes down. He went down.
It should be a foul against Tilaun. He's the last one to have touched the ball.
It is a foul against Tilaun. What are you saying, Gilbert? It is a foul against Tilaun.
I think it should be going towards the Sidama side.
Oh, what you mean it should have been for Meari Mena?
Yeah, for Meari Mena.
But he pushed on the back, and that's why. That's the only reason why. But the last touch was actually with Bebe Tilaun. There's a lot of things that happen when the ball goes in a situation like that, the tussling for position. It's going to be a throw-in now for the Sidama side. One of the things you must get used to being in Ethiopia, Gilbert, is the smell of injera when it is being cooked.
Injera? Injera or Buna?
No. You know, when it's being done so early, you know, at 11 o'clock. Here is a chance for the Sidama side to lead this game, and Gezahen has just fluffed it. Oh, this takes the crossbar coming from Ndale. Oh, I would blame it on the destruction of the smell of injera being made. On a serious note, this should have been a chance for the Sidama side to have picked up that lead now. It gives the impetus to the Ethiopia Buna side. And is this going to come back to the midfield? Is this going to come back to the midfield? Here is a chance now for Solomon coming in and trying to get it back to Abubakar Nasser, who tries to latch back onto possession. The shot is blocked off by Fetudin Jamal involuntarily. The second time in the game that he takes a hard hit. And the referee is going to stop play now to get a chance to look at Fetudin, who's already gotten back onto his feet. But occasionally hits like those ones have caused concussions, and he needed to be looked at. But Buna, certainly Ethiopia, Sidama Buna missing a chance here.
That's a good delivery from Yasar Mugero. And Mugeza, and you think that he would going to put the ball on his left foot and take a strike. He picks the ball, wants to go on his right foot, and that is very good anticipation from not Asran Tunjo. That should be Abikal Fereja.
Well,
golden opportunity
the coach
lost.
knew that they've lost a chance here with the last touch having come from inside and having come from Emmanuel Ndale. The last touch wasn't equally effective. They make another substitution. Yigazu Bogale is the man who comes into play now. And he takes the place of Gezaheng. I think Gezaheng is just a little bit tired, Gilbert. I mean,
he was selfish. He
played 81 minutes the last time, but he starts after missing against Sabeta. But yeah, he might be selfish, but he's tired as well, Gilbert.
He is.
That's what I meant.
He is extremely tired.
He is
Playing
tired.
He's done a good job though for Sidama Buna. I think the introduction of Yigazu Bogale, who scored the second goal against the big win against St. George, to try and solidify the attack for them.
Oh, interesting that the Sidama Buna in the last game they played against St. George scored in extra time on both sides, on both halves, you know. And Bogale got onto the target in the 93rd minute. That is after coming in the 70th minute. So maybe they want him to be a super sub again today. Yasser Bugeru also playing in an out-and-out striking role. He's got to go to the goalkeeper, Ebel Mamo, who brings it to Wandmene Dereje. Oh, they make a mistake here. Okiki Afolabi has capitalized on it. It's going to be a foul here on Afolabi. And a free kick just at the edge of the box. A yellow card will be going to Wandmene Dereje as well. For that, they knew the danger if Okiki Afolabi had gone through with that ball. The very one time that Okiki Afolabi decided to pick up possession and was going to launch himself into the box, Wandmene Dereje brings him down there.
So it's good ball control. Good ball control. He's in full control of the ball, and Wandmene realizes that for him to stop him, he must at least create a foul in a prime position for Sidama.
So it will give us a chance to see what they've been practicing in the set-piece positions. Afolabi today not playing too hard, just playing smart. 2 tackles that Wandmene Dereje has registered, and a foul as well to boot. It's 2 men who are going to be taking it. So Afolabi might just want to leave it to the man with the freshest legs on the field, Yigazu Bogale. But again, he might just want to carve it on his left foot as well. Well, you usually do not want to watch out for too many, you know, preparations. Too much preparation sometimes don't work well. It's going to be on the right foot, it looks like. Oh no, on the left of Afolabi. Bangs it into the wall. And the Ethiopia Buna side want to come out on a quick break. Abubakar Nasser has already set himself up for a run. Fetudin just cuts him off. Just coming from Ebol Kebede. And that quick break is what might salvage the game for the Ethiopia Buna side.
Absolutely. It was very good vision by none other than Fetudin Jamal, just to try and cut him out. But that was a very good pass.
Now, that was a good pass for Abubakar Nasser,
yes,
but not from Fetudin Jamal, but from the...
Well read by Fetudin Jamal.
Yes, but the pass was coming from the defense on this side. You know, you've put everybody in one sentence, so... and you put the pass as well, and good vision by the defender. I think the defender did very well to cut it off. It was a diagonal one, and Abubakar is a killer when it comes to those kind of passes. The pressure coming into the goalkeeper here. And Dale pushing it back. Enough Ben trying to go for it. Wandmene Dereje cuts it off. They're getting erratic in that defense on the Ethiopia Buna side. Tafira Guta. Tiny little dribbling skills that are cut off by Ebol Kebede. Referee says it's a foul. It's going to be given to the Sidama Buna side. And even as we go to the next water break, Gilbert, there's every indication that this is going to be a painful loss for one side. And it's just a question of who blinks first and who makes the mistake first.
Well, you're saying that there are tears that are setting up in somebody's eyes, and not necessarily from Abubakar, because he has already set the record.
Yeah, well, you need to set a record in a game you're winning as well. So it would be good if they won it. Then the records would really count as well.
Absolutely, and I think it's a very difficult match. Mamadou, I think, coming into this game with a very well-connected pass there. Another, that is pure brilliance. He shields onto the ball, that's Okiki. Ensures that Menari is on the ball, but look at that fast touch and the finish. This is golden for the second goal.
He's very good at those ones. He really loves to pick them up and shoot from that. We've seen a couple of them that weren't on target, but when they're on target, they make up for very good goals. 3 attempts so far and 1 goal. It brings his total to 6 goals now in the Ethiopian Premier League. And it's these big moments like this one that call for big actions as well from big players like Mamadou Sidibe. For the Ethiopia Buna side, now the big player is actually the tiniest in frame, Abubakar Nasser. He's already scored 2 goals from those attacks that they were pushing in the action areas. And his coach, Kasai Arage, believes that that's a man who can be able to open this out for them. They need the points because they need to finish in the 2nd position. Otherwise, there's a big chase coming from their arch rivals, St. George, and also from Hadia Osaina. And just as competition would have it, Ethiopia Buna will next play Hadia. So you know that is the one that will make up every decision. You know that man, Gilbert, don't you?
That must be one of the defenders.
He is. Mintasinot Kebede.
Yeah.
He was red carded in the 48th minute against Bahar Dar. And that is after getting a 2nd yellow. And so he sits out on the bench. And he's one of the tallest players who can be able to clear off the high balls. So again, sometimes where the players must think about what's happening next and keep the discipline on the field.
And again, he had a very bad game. He had a very bad game against Bahar Dar, I think, having been substituted by Abebe Telahun.
Yep.
For making a big blunder.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So that compounds everything for him. He's on the bench. He's on the side.
Making a big blunder.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So that compounds everything for him. He's on the bench. He's on the side stands watching, just like a fan would be doing. Goes out on the right side for Ethiopia Buna. Looking for a chance to bring in a cross, which they rarely do. They like to move into the penalty area and finish it from there. Oh, Abubakar Nasser going down easily or intimating that he's been hit here. It's going to be a foul on Abubakar Nasser. He will be penalized for diving here, but he's really looking for that chance. Here it is again. Let's analyze it slowly. There he slips. There is nothing that Sande Mutuku can do about that. Yeah. And then he gets up and launches himself up. He's intimating that Biranwa Shamo has had his knee on his abdomen. You can see it very closely. He bumps himself.
Yes, there is no way that Abubakar was going to get anything out of that.
No, he hits himself on Ashamo.
Yeah, he raises up and then
pushes himself on Ashamo. No, you don't get anything for that. Unfortunately, the man who's already beat the record twice in today's game will not be getting anything out of this one. Here it is again. First of all, there is no foul there. He's just slipped. And then look at the second one. He's picking himself up, pushes himself, launches himself out on Ashamo and also on Mamadou Sidibe.
He's trying to get a foul. He's trying to create a foul himself. I think if he gets hurt, it's just him and him alone that has created the foul.
Yeah, he has hurt himself.
On himself.
He has hurt himself there for that. Trying to get something that will not be gotten out of that. And that's good. Be given out himself there for that, trying to get away to the other side. This was a free kick earlier on taken by Mamadou Sidibe. It's going to be a free kick by Fabian Fanon. He's lucky not to have been carded in that one, Abubakar Nasser, and he's still out of the field of play, so they will not have anybody to be able to target up at the front. It would be interesting to see how they play without Abubakar Nasser at the front. It fizzles off, doesn't go anywhere because they're so used to targeting him out. And now that he's still out of the field of play, nothing goes in that direction. Mamadou Sidibe changes the wing here. The header, better one brought down. They're appealing for a handball. That could have been a reason why the ball slowed down. But that's not the only reason why Yigazu Bagale should have stopped play here. Goes for a shot off target. But he takes advantage of the fact that he's on the right side and he's not marked at all, Gilbert.
It's a good way. It's a good way to introduce yourself. He's already in a shooting position, and there's no question of trying to, deliver that ball to any other person apart from taking a direct shot at the keeper. There's no question of trying to, deliver that ball to any other person apart from taking a direct shot at the keeper.
So it's going to go to the right side for the Ethiopia Buna side. Abubakar Nasir has already come back into the field of play. Would a draw be good for the Sidama side, or would it be good for the Ethiopia Buna side?
It will be bad for Ethiopia Buna side. Remember, in the last 5 matches, this being the 5th one, they've not posted any win. So, with 1 loss and 3 draws in the last 4.
What about for the Sidama side?
Sidama side, I think at this particular point, they will tie on 25 points, but on goal difference, Direda will still be ahead. So I think Sidama need the maximum points.
Okay, that's very easily put then. They need the points here. So someone has got to be a superstar in this game for either side. They both need the points more than just anything else. The 3 points of a win. Abubakar Nasir. And manages to get it back. It's going to be a throw-in from the other side. Ashamo is giving instructions on where he thinks they should best fit into this equation of defense. And again, Abubakar Nasir was just trying to get himself down. The shot is off target. The number of times Abubakar Nasir falls in the box sometimes is baffling.
Just see how he wants to get in front of Sande Mutuku. And Sande Mutuku is very, very intelligent. He doesn't bump into him.
Look at him. Look at him again.
Yeah, he wants to go around Sande Mutuku, and that's a good recovery and a poor shot from Gabriel Tinse.
Good positioning by the goalkeeper. It's going to be a foul here on Dawit Taferaguta, says the referee. Abubakar Nasir is getting a little bit now agitated. He's come all the way to complain. He's the captain of the side. He's coming to complain that that foul should have been going in that direction. There's another substitution. And we'll be introducing Nathaniel Berhe. Very first time that we're seeing him playing in his very first match of the Ethiopian Premier League. And he will be substituting Alazar Shimelis, who was playing on the outside right. So 10 minutes that Nathaniel Berhe has got to play to prove himself. Alazar Shimelis came in the 59th against Bahar Dar, but today he started the game and has played 80 minutes. What can Nathaniel Berhe do for the club? We'll see first of all with the attack coming out on the left side. Mehari Mena's attempt to try and bring in the cross is stopped very quickly. Mehari Mena's attempt to try and bring in the cross is stopped very quickly. Nathaniel Berhe is a defender for the Ethiopia Buna side, and Alazar Shimelis is a forward girl, but that makes Haile Gabremedin think about what they're planning there. What do you think they're planning?
It's very interesting because remember Astra Tunjo went out and they brought in a forward, and now they've brought in a defender for a forward, so I think there's going to be a change. Nathaniel getting back and Jabikal going up to help in the striking.
This Okiki Afolabi would be intimating that he had a boot going onto his face. Goes down so hard, I think the referee will allow him to be looked at. It's clutching onto his face. And tends to think that the clearance by the defenders went right onto his face. He's back onto his feet here. Here it is again. Clearance was on the shoulder. No, I'm not saying that it's correct to take it onto the shoulder, but it doesn't get onto his face. It's coming off Haile Gabremedin. So Kiki Afolabi will get back onto his feet and play will continue with the possession having been with the Ethiopia Buna side. Usually just bounce back to the Ethiopia Buna side. Afolabi shrugged off one defender. It's put it nicely for Bogale. He's put it in the net. Yigazu Bogale puts Sidama Buna ahead. The defenders will blame themselves. The goalkeeper will blame the defenders. And the captain will try to challenge that decision. But Yigazu Bogale comes in as a super substitute again. Coming in the 70th minute, the same way. Here it is again. There is no offside. They are on the line, totally on the line there. And by the time the ball is being released from Okiki Afolabi's foot, and it's already left the foot there, he's onside. And that is a clear goal.
It's good ball control there again by Okiki Afolabi. Today being the provider. First touch, very good. Bogale, Yigezu Bogale, with the simplest of touches. Mamo out of his way. And what a way to get back into this game. Super sub, I would call him.
It makes Gabriel Medina very happy coach as well. He thinks they're getting out of the relegation zone. And he lets out a cry of triumph. It's just a few minutes remaining in this game as well. Rebel Mamo seems to be actually challenging and chiding the referee. But he'll look at it again when he sees it on the replay. And he'll know that there was no offside there at all. But I tell you, Gezu Bogale changes the scoreline. Ethiopia Coffee 2 and Sidama Coffee 3. Yigezu Bogale came in the 70th minute against St. George and scored in the 93rd. Today he comes in the 70th minute and scores in the 84th minute. Well, just about 5 minutes remaining in regular time here. And we haven't had much stoppage in this game again. So it's not the kind that you expect 4 minutes of extra or 5 minutes. It's going to be much less than that. As Yebikal Fareja tries to push it with an urgency from his left side. Bebetilahun again trying to get onto the right side. Tafera Guta is challenging for this one. And he commits a foul. This is going to be a free kick. The bench, not a very happy bench, girl, but they are thinking about what might happen in the next 5 or so minutes.
It's a pensive moment, Bernard. It's a very, very pensive moment. 1 week win out of 5. If should this go the way it is going, then it means that 1 win out of 6, which is not a good
well, you can look at it as, you can look at it as 2 wins out of 7 as well. Just depends on the number of games you're analyzing. But they won 2 out of 7, but it's still not good because 3 out of 7 is losses, is draws rather, and 2 out of 7 is losses.
Yeah. And
for a big successful team, you must also map your strategy against the team that you are playing. Not only for just how you want to play. It's going to be a throw-in. This the last touch on Fetudin Jama. Solomon losing his footing there. The big clearance coming from Yasser Mugerwa. A quick throw-in by Ethiopia Buna. That's the new man, Yabikal Fareja. Too much style on Fareja. It gets to Abebe Tilahun, who has had no time for style. He's just been clearing the balls from his area and pushing them forward. Gabriel Tinsey plays it out on the right side. Things change very quickly. If the scoreline was to end the way it is at the moment, then Ethiopia Coffee would remain in the 2nd position with 36 points. And the big change would be on the Sidama Buna side, who would run away from that 10th position and go to the 9th with 27 points. And they would probably just be looking at points on how to get away from the relegation zone farther away. It's going to be a throw-in. To Okiki Afolabi then. This time round gets the foul.
He's been working, Okiki has been working very smart today.
Yep.
He really has not used a lot of goal but in this game.
No.
Just being smart, knowing exactly where to be, control, and the final pass has been absolutely fantastic.
He's been conserving the energy, and he probably realized that striking too much would put a lot of attention on him. And I think the tact is working, that today is the provider, and so they don't know who else to mark up at the front. And that's why we have very diverse scoring on the Sidama side. Meari Mena is a defender, Mamadou Sidibe is a midfielder, and then Igezu Bugale coming in the late minutes of the game is forward who puts it in the net. And Yeto Kikiafalabi is still in the game as well. So good tracked by the Sidama Buna side. Can Kofi level the scores with a few minutes remaining? They're still targeting Abubakar Nasser. Sane Mutuku puts his head to stop this one. Ashamo. Long ball trying to target Okikiafalabi. They shouldn't lump it forward here, but they need to manage it.
They need to manage the game.
Manage the game.
Yes, they need to manage. It's only 2 minutes to the clock.
Oh, that's a lot of minutes in a game of football.
Keep the ball away from your opponents.
And you know there might be added time, but I think it could be maybe 1 or 2 minutes in my estimation. Abubakar Nasser punches it onto the left side to Solomon. Oh, that is going to be a foul, of course. It's going to be a foul on Emmanuel Ndale. When you're leading the game and somebody touches you and you run out, you really look aggrieved. You look like, you've really been unfairly treated. So it's going to be a free kick. Meari Mena is on the ground on the other side, while Emmanuel Ndale was also rolling down on this other side. The referee is going to give Fabian Fanola a yellow card because the referee is telling him to play the ball being waited for in the center by William, and Fanol is saying, look, there's Meari Mena on the ground. So Fanol has been yellow carded, and that makes for another yellow card, the 4th one. He was yellow carded in the 85th minute against St. George, and he usually chalks them up in the very, very last minutes of the game. This is an 89th minute yellow card on Fabian Fanol. It's going to be a corner. Oh, it's going to be a free kick. Igezu Bugale deemed to have fouled in the attempt to try and remove the ball from that area. We're playing the 90th minute of the game, and of course there's going to be added time here as Ethiopia Buna begin a build-up in the midfield, changing it all the way to Ebol Kebede. Sabebe Tilahun is pushing to try and get these balls to Abubakar Nasser. It's going to be a penalty with Fabian Fanola coming off his line and fouling Abubakar Nasser. And all they did was to push the ball far ahead of him. And the man who manages to execute that is Abebe Tilahun, who was pushing from his defensive area. They needed to manage the game. 4 minutes of added time is what we're playing here. This is a penalty that Abubakar Nasser has. He's got a chance to go on with the match ball if he scores that one, and I know they will give him the chance. And again, the Ethiopia Buna side might just draw level. Wasn't intentional though, but
it's a penalty.
Fabian Fanol gives away a penalty.
It's a penalty. You don't give that opportunity. We talked about that space behind the defenders, and Abubakar knows exactly how he's supposed to assert himself. He gets over the ball, and Fanol puts his foot in there. It's a penalty. Well,
he knows what to do, Abubakar Nasser. It simply, smears himself on you and goes up. Oh, Fanol is in trouble here. He's going to get a second yellow card, but that translates into a red card. And it's trouble here for the Sidama side. He got a yellow card just a few minutes ago in the 89th minute. Gets a second in the 91st minute. And it turns into a red card. And Fanol should not have been doing anything like that. He's needed right now for the goalkeeping of the Sidama Buna side. He might have saved it. It might go off the bar. But Fanol is in trouble. Still sending words out to the referee. He could have argued about this easily. He went for the ball. It wasn't intentional. But it's a foul and it's in the box. And it's an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. I don't know what he says to the referee incessantly, after he had already gotten the first yellow card just a few minutes ago. Chucks in a second one.
It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. That second yellow card, it's a red card, and now they have to sacrifice an infield
player.
Yes.
And bring in a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And whose first task will be to save a penalty.
Absolutely, and become a hero.
Become a hero if he can. Well, we'll see what they have to do now. They have got Leikud Negash as a goalkeeper, and they've got Fikru Odessa as well, who's played in 9 matches. I think he's the man who probably they will bring in. And for Fabian Fanol, it's totally out of the field of play. Can't sit on the bench. Usually in normal circumstances, he's escorted out. Yep. The man who has been in this before said a lot of things to the referee, so much so that he got the second yellow card. Fikru Odessa will come into play. A difficult time that he has to come into play when a penalty is in the offing from a man who wants to score a hat-trick, who's already made history twice, and who also wants to make further history by increasing the tally of goals scored in the Ethiopian Premier League. So just waiting for the referee to accept that change. And they're also deciding who they're going to be bringing out of the infield to make up the numbers. It becomes a very difficult gamble as well for the teams, but they have no alternative. They have to make the substitution. I think it's Mamadou Sidibe who they will be pulling out of the field. He's exited next to the goal area where the penalty is going to be taken. So Mamadou Sidibe will be the sacrifice today. He's already scored one goal. He would have liked to finish the game as well. We're playing the 93rd minute. Remember, all stoppage time will be added into added time. We had 4 minutes on the clock as added time. There's been a little bit of a delay in the restart, and that means we'll probably play another 2 or so minutes after that. So Fikru Odessa and Abubakar Nasser, two men who've got a chance to become superheroes today. Odessa coming in for the very first time as a goalkeeper in this game. Could be a superhero if he saves it. Abubakar Nasser is the top-rated striker, both in the Ethiopia Buna, in the Ethiopian Premier League. Could just be increasing his tally as the all-time top scorer. Very tense moment here for everybody in the field. Nasser versus Odessa, and Nasser scores a hat-trick here. He will be going home with a match ball from a penalty in the 94th minute of the game.
ናስር እየተበረከተ ይገኛል። የኢትዮጵያ ፕሪሚየር ሊግ የኮከብ ግብ አግቢነትን ፉክክር በ4 ጎሎች የጀመረው አቡበከር ናስር ዛሬ 3 ጎሎችን በማስቆጠር የኢትዮጵያ ፕሪሚየር ሊግ የኮከብ ግብ አግቢነትን ፉክክር በ4 ጎሎች የጀመረው አቡበከር ናስር ዛሬ 3 ጎሎችን በማስቆጠር 27 ጎል ላይ መድረስ ችሏል። ይህ ደግሞ በ4 ዓመታት ታሪክ ብቸኛው ተጫዋች ያደርገዋል። በዛሬው ጨዋታ ከመመራት እየተነሱ ሲዳማ ቡናዎች 1-0 ወደ 1 እኩል፣ ከ2-1 ወደ 2 እኩል፣ ከዛ ደግሞ ሶስተኛውን ጎል ይገዙ ቦጋላ አስቆጥሮ 3-2 መምራት ችሎ ነበር። በመጨረሻው ሰዓት በተቆጠረ ጎል 3 እኩል አልቋል። አሰልጣኝ ገብረመድህን ኃይሌ ከጨዋታው በኋላ አስተያየታቸውን ሊሰጡን ከኛ ጋር ይገኛሉ። አሰልጣኝ ገብረመድህን 90 ደቂቃው ብዙ ስሜቶች የነበሩበት 6 ጎል የተቆጠረበት ነው። በአንተ እይታ እንዴት ነበር?
ጥሩ ነው። ያው ለመሸናነፍ የነበረው ፍላጎት ከፍተኛ መሆኑን የሚያሳየው ያው ከዛ አንፃር እንግዲህ ለማሸነፍ ጥረት አድርገናል። ላስት ሚኒት ይዘነው የምንወጣውን ነጥብ አሳልፈን ሰጥተናል። ግን ኢስኖት ዘይንድ በቃ ጥሩ ነው። 1 ነጥብ መጥፎ አይደለም። በዛሬው
በጨዋታው በመጀመሪያው 45 በሁለተኛው ብዙ ሙከራ ያደረገው ያንተ ቡድን ነው። ግን እድሎቻችሁን አልተጠቀማችሁም ነበር። ምናልባት ከጨዋታው ሂደት ከማጥቃት እንቅስቃሴው ከምን አንፃር ነው?
እንግዲህ አታኪንግ ሰርድ ላይ ስንገባ ትንሽ ሙከራዎች ብዙ ቢኖሩም ግን ፊኒሺንጋችን በጣም ጥሩ የሚባል አልነበረም። ያ ምንድነው አንዱ ሌላውን የመተካት አንዱ ሌላውን ሳፖርት የማድረግ ሁኔታ ትንሽ እየተቀዛቀዘ ነው እና በቁጥር አንዳንድ ጊዜ አነስተኛ ስትሆን ያው እንደዚህ አይነት ነገሮች ያጋጥማሉ። ኦቨርኦል ሲታይ ግን መጥፎ አይደለም።
በዳኝነቱ በኩል ብዙ ጥያቄዎች ነበሩ። ምን አስተያየት አለ?
ጥያቄው ራሳቸው የመለሱት ዳኞቹ፣ እኔ አልመልስም።
በጨዋታው ላይ አቡበከር ናስር 3 ጎሎችን አስቆጥሯል። አንተ በአጥቂ ቦታ ላይ ነበር የምትጫወተው፣ በ10 ቁጥር ቦታ። እንዴት ነው የምትገልጸው አቡበከርን በተጫዋችነት?
ጥሩ ነው። ያው አጠቃላይ ዘንድሮ ያሳየው ብቃት በጣም ጥሩ ስለሆነ ልጁ ወደፊትም ጥሩ ነገር መስራት ይችላል ብዬ አስባለሁ።
ከልብ አመሰግናለሁ። አሰልጣኝ ገብረመድህን ኃይሌ ከጨዋታው በኋላ ከሱፐር ስፖርት ጋር ያደረጉትን ቆይታ ነበር የተመለከታችሁት። በተለይ በሁለተኛው 45 ደቂቃ በዳኝነት በኩል በርካታ ጥያቄዎች ነበሩ። 6 ጎሎች የተቆጠሩበት የ24ኛው ሳምንት የመጀመሪያ ሳምንት ጨዋታ ነው። ይህ ጨዋታ ሲዳማ ቡና 3 ኢትዮጵያ ቡና 3 በሆነ ውጤት ተጠናቋል። ከሰዓት በኋላ ሌላ ያለመውረድ ርዕስ ያለበት ጨዋታ በሐዋሳና በወልቂጤ በኩል ይደረጋል። ከአሰልጣኝ ካሳይ አራጌ ጋር ቆይታችንን የምንቀጥል ይሆናል። አሰልጣኝ ካሳይ በጨዋታውና በውጤቱ ደስተኛ ነህ?
ውጤቱ ጥሩ ነው ያው ከነበረው ሁኔታ አንፃር። በጨዋታው ግን ትንሽ ጫና አለባቸው ልጆቹ የመጫወቻ ነፃ ቦታ እያገኙ ሰውም እያገኙ ትንሽ እንግዲህ ካለው ከቀረው ጨዋታና ካለው የነጥብ ጥበት አንፃር ትንሽ ጫና ያለባቸው ይመስላል።
የመጀመሪያው 45 ደቂቃ ላይ የተሻለ ተፎካክራችሁ ነበር። ሁለተኛው 45 ደቂቃ እስከ መጨረሻዎቹ ጥቂት ደቂቃዎች ድረስ በጣም እየተጠቃችሁ ነበርና ምንድነው ልዩነቱ?
መጀመሪያ ያው ስንገባም ያልነው በረፍትም ትልቁ ነገር የስነ ልቦና ጉዳይ ነው። ነፃ ሆኖ እንዲጫወት ነው። ስለሚፈጠረው ስህተት ማሰብ የለባቸውም። ያንን እኛ ኃላፊነቱን እንወስዳለን። ነፃ ሆኖ እንዲጫወት ነው። ግን ያ ነገር ነው የሚታየው። ትንሽ እንትኑ ተጽዕኖ ያደረገ ይመስለኛል። በነፃነት እንዳይጫወቱ አንዳንድ ጊዜ ደፍረው ሲጫወቱ ነፃ ቦታ ያገኛሉ፣ መውጫ ቦታ ያገኛሉ። ያ ጫና ያለ ይመስለኛል። እንግዲህ እዛ ላይ መስራት አለብን።
በዳኝነቱ በኩል ጥያቄዎች ነበሩ። ከናንተ ተጠባባቂ ወንበርም በሲዳማን በኩል አስተያየት አለ በዚህ ላይ?
ሶስተኛው እኛ ላይ የገባው ግብ እንግዲህ እርግጠኛ አይደለንም። ማየት አለብን ምን ይመስላል የሚለውን ነገር። ምናልባት ኦፍሳይድ ከሆነ ተደጋጋሚ እንደዚህ አይነት ነገሮች የሚሰሩ ስህተቶች አሉ። ማንኛውም ዳኛ ቢመጣ ይህን ስህተት ሊሰራ ይችላል ብዬ አስባለሁ። ትኩረት ሊሰጠው የሚገባው ነገር በቃ ዳኞች መታገዝ አለባቸው፣ የግድ መታገዝ አለባቸው። ያ ካልሆነ ይሄም አሁን ቅድም የተፈጠረው ነገር ስህተት ከሆነ እነዚህ ነገሮች ይቀጥላሉ። ስለዚህ በዛ መታገዝ አለባቸው ነው የምለው።
ከ4 ዓመታት በኋላ የኢትዮጵያ ፕሪሚየር ሊግ የኮከብ ግብ አግቢነት ሪከርድ በአቡበከር ናስር ተሰብሯል። 27 ጎል አስቆጥሯል። ገና 2 ቀሪ ጨዋታዎች አሉ። ምን አስተያየት አለ በዚህ ላይ?
ሊጨምር ይችላል ብዬ አስባለሁ። ግን የተመቻቹ እንቅስቃሴውም ስለሚያግዘው ሞር ተጨማሪ ጎሎችን ማግባት እንዲችል የተመቻቸ ነገር መኖር አለበት። በተለይ የኛ መሀል ላይ ያሉ ሰዎች እሱ ማርክ ያደረጉትን ሰዎች ተቆጣጥረው መስጠት የሚችሉበት ሁኔታ እንዳሰልጣኝ መፍጠር አለብን። ለምሳሌ ሁለተኛው ኳስ ዊሊያም የሰጠው ዊሊያም ሁሉም መቆጣጠር በሚችልበት ሁኔታ ውስጥ ነው። እንደዛ አይነት ነገሮችና እኛ እንዳሰልጣኝ መፍጠር አለብን። ያ ነገር ካለ ተጨማሪ ጎሎች ያገባል የሚል እምነት አለኝ።
በቡና 10 ቁጥር መለያ ከተጫወቱት መካከል ካሰግድ ጋር ተጫውታል። ዮርዳኖስ አባይን አሰልጥናል። ታፈሰ ተስፋይን ተመልክታልና በማን ደረጃ ላይ የሚገኘው ብለህ ነው የምታስበው አቡበከር ናስርን?
አቡበከር እንግዲህ እኛ ከምንጫወተው ጨዋታ አንፃር አንድ ሂደቱን የመጠበቅ አቅም ተጫዋቹ እንዲኖረው እንፈልጋለን። በግል ነገሮችን የመወጣት አቅም፣ እንደገና ራሱን ለፋይናል ፓስ የማዘጋጀት ፋይናል ፓስ የመስጠት እነዚህ ነገሮች የሚታዩበት ነው። እንደገና በግሩፕ ስራው በማስጣል ስራ ውስጥ ያ ይታይበታል። አሰግድም እንደዚህ አይነት ብዙ ኳሊቲዎች ያሉበት ግን በግሩፕ ስራ የመንጠቁ ነገር ላይ ትንሽ ደካማ ነው። ምናልባት እንግዲህ አሁን ከምንጫወተው ነገር ጋር ተጫዋቾቹ የሚጠየቁት ነው። በፊት የሚጠየቁትም ነገር ሌላ ነው። ትንሽ ማነጻጸሩ ይከብዳል። ግን እነዚህ ነገሮች ያካተተ ኳሊቲ ያለው ተጫዋች ነው።
ከልብ አመሰግናለሁ።
እኔም አመሰግናለሁ።
አሰልጣኝ ካሳይ አራጌ የኢትዮጵያ ቡና አሰልጣኝ ከአቡበከር ናስር ጋር በተገናኘ ከዚህ በፊት በኢትዮጵያ ቡና መለያ ከተጫወቱ አጥቂዎች ጋር በማነጻጸር የመጨረሻ አስተያየቱን ሰጥቷል። 17 ሙከራዎችን ሲዳማ ቡናዎች አድርገዋል። 6 ደግሞ በኢትዮጵያ ቡና፣ 8ቱ በሲዳማ ኢላማቸውን ጠብቀዋል። ኢትዮጵያ ቡና 5 ሙከራዎችን አድርገዋል። 3 ሙከራዎች ኢላማቸውን ከጠበቁት መካከል 3 በመስራት አቡበከር ናስር የውድድር ዘመኑን 25፣ 26 እና 27ኛ ጎል አስቆጥሯል። ከሱፐር ስፖርት ጋር ቆይታ ያደርጋል። በኢትዮጵያ ፕሪሚየር ሊግ የኮከብ ግብ አግቢነቱን ሪከርድ ስለያዝክ በቅድሚያ እንኳን ደስ አለ።
እንኳን አብሮ ደስ አለ።
ከጨዋታ በፊት ስትመጣ በዛሬው ጨዋታ ላይ 3 ጎሎች አስቆጥሬ ወይም አቻውን አልፋለሁ ብለህ አስበህ ነበር?
አይ እኔ እንትን አላሰብኩም፣ እንደዚህ 3 አገባለሁ ብዬም አላሰብኩም። ግን የተሻለ ነገር ለማድረግ ቲሜን ውጤት እንዲይዝ የተሻለ ነገር ነበር ዛሬ ልናደርግ ያሰብነው። ከትናንት ጀምሮ በቃ ከቲሜ ልጆች ጋርና ከኮች ስታፉ ጋር ጥሩ ምክክር አድርገን ነበር። አላህላሎም አልተሳካም።
አምበል ሆነህ ነው ዛሬ ወደ ሜዳ የገባኸው። አምበልነቱ የተለየ ስሜት ነበረው?
ያው ኢትዮጵያ ቡናን በአምበልነት ስትመራ በጣም ትልቅ ስሜት ነው የሚሰማው። ምክንያቱም ገና በልጅነቴ ይህን ክብር ራሱ ስላሳየኝ በጣም ክለቡንም ማመስገን እፈልጋለሁ። ደጋፊውንም እንደዚሁ፣ ህብረተሰቡን ራሱ ከጎኔ ነው በየትኛውም አካባቢ ሲሄድ ድጋፍ እያደረጉልኝ ነው። ሁሉንም ማመስገን እፈልጋለሁ።
ደጋፊዎች ቢኖሩ የሚል ቁጭት አድሮብሃል? በኢትዮጵያ ፕሪሚየር ሊግ በዲኤስቲቪ ዘመን የፕሪሚየር ሊግ ኮከብ ግብ አግቢነቱን ሪከርድ ስትሰብር?
አዎ በሚገባ። ምክንያቱም ደጋፊ ሲኖር የኢትዮጵያ ቡና ደጋፊ ከ30 ሺህ በላይ ህዝብ ነው እየገባ የሚያየውና በእነሱ ታጅበው መጫወት ራሱ አንድ ደስታ ነውና ይሄ ነገር ደግሞ አላህላለውም አልተሳካምና ለቀጣይ አመትም ደግሞ ያው በኮቪድም ጠፍቶ እንዲሁ በጋራ ሆነን ኳሳችንን እንድናካሄድ አላህ ይረዳናል ብዬ አስባለሁ።
በአንደኛው ዙር ሲዳማ ቡና ላይ 3 አሰርተሃል። አሁንም እንደገና ሲዳማ ቡና ላይ 3 አሰርተሃል። የተለየ ነገር አለ?
ያው የተለየ ነገር የለውም። በየጨዋታው ነው የተሻለ ነገር ለማድረግ ነው የምገባውና ያ ነገር ያው ሜዳ ላይ በቃ እኔ ትኩረት አድርጌ ነው የምጫወተው። አንደኛ ራሴን ሪከርድ ለመስበር ነው የምጫወተው። ሲቀጥል ደግሞ ክለቤም ውጤት እንዲይዝ ነው አላማዬና ያው የኔ ሪከርድ ተሳክቷል። ቲሙ ግን ውጤት እንትን ብሏል። በጣም አዘኛለሁ።
ጌታነህ ከበደ ጋር ትላንት ምሽት በኢትዮጵያ ብሔራዊ ቡድን ሽልማት ስነ ስርዓት ላይ አብራችሁ ነበራችሁ። የሱ ሪከርድ ነው የሰበርከው። ያወራችሁት ነገር ነበር?
ያው ትናንትና ከነሱ ጋርም ተገናኝተን ነበርና ለዛውም ስለመሸ ነገ ጌም አለበት ሂድ ምናምን ብሎኝ ነበርና ያው ጌታነንም ዮርዳኖስንም ማመስገን እፈልጋለሁ። ያው ሁለቱም እንትን እያሉ ነው በቃ እንዲህ የስፖርት አፍቃሪውን እንዳለ ኮች ስታፎች የሌላም ቲሞች እየደወሉ ያበረታቱኝ ነው። ብዙ ሰዎች ነው እየደወሉ ያበረታቱኝ ያሉትና ያው ለነሱ ምስጋና ማቅረብ እፈልጋለሁ።
ከአራት ሶስት ኳሶችን ወስዳለ። ምንድነው የምታደርገው?
ኳሶች ውስጥ ልገና አላስብም።
ከልብ አመሰግናለሁ።
እሺ አመሰግናለሁ።
ክቡራን ተመልካቾቻችን በኢትዮጵያ ፕሪሚየር ሊግ አዲስ ሪከርድ በ24 ዓመታት የግብ አግቢነት ፉክክር ውስጥ ተገኝቷል። ጌታነህ ከበደ ከ4 ዓመታት በፊት በደደቢት መለያ 25 ጎሎችን ማስቆጠር ችሎ ነበር። ትላንት ምሽት ደግሞ በኢትዮጵያ ብሔራዊ ቡድን መለያ 30 ጎሎችን በማስቆጠሩ የክብር ልዩ ሽልማት ከኢትዮጵያ እግር ኳስ ፌዴሬሽን ተበርክቶለት ነበር። ዛሬ ደግሞ የእሱን ሪከርድ አቡበከር ናስር መስበር ችሏል። የማጥቃት እንቅስቃሴዎችን እየተመለከትን ነው። የቡና ማጥቃት ካልን ደግሞ የአቡበከር ናስር እንቅስቃሴ ዋነኛው ነው። መኮንን
ሲዳማ ቡና ዛሬ በ25 የማጥቃት ሙከራዎችን አድርጓል ወይንም እንቅስቃሴዎችን አድርጓል። ይበልጥ ጫና ፈጥሮ የተጫወተው ቡድንና ከዚህ ጨዋታ 3 ነጥብ ለመውሰድ ቁርጠኝነት የነበረው ሲዳማ ቡና ነበር። በተለይ ሁለተኛው አጋማሽ ላይ የተሻሻለውን ሲዳማ ቡና ተመልክተናል። ኢትዮጵያ ቡና ደግሞ ከመጀመሪያው አጋማሽ በተቃራኒ ሁለተኛው አጋማሽ ትንሽ ተዳክሞ ነው የቀረበው። ዛሬም አቡበከር ናስር የቡድኑ ሁሉም ነገር ነው ማለት ይቻላል። ቡድኑ ያደረጋቸው ሙከራዎች፣ ያስቆጠራቸው ጎሎች በሙሉ ከሱ ነው የተነሱት። ስለዚህ ኢትዮጵያ ቡና እንደ ቡድን ከዚህ በኋላ በተለይ ተጫዋቾች ላይ የቡድኑን የጨዋታ መንገድ የሚረዱ ተጫዋቾችን ወደ ቡድኑ ማምጣትና ቡድኑ ማጠናከር ያለበት ይመስለኛል። ዛሬም አቡበከር ናስር ነው። ባለፈው ከባህር ዳር ጋር አቡበከር ናስር ነበር። ስለዚህ ኢትዮጵያ ቡና በአቡበከር ናስር ትከሻ ላይ ያለ ቡድን ነውና ዛሬም ሳይሸነፉ የመውጣታቸው ምክንያት አቡበከር ናስር ነበረ። ስለዚህ የአንድ ቡድን የአንድ ተጫዋች ቡድን እየሆነ የመጣ ይመስለኛል። ይበልጥ
ስለ ጎል ሪካርዱ ብናወራ 25 ጎሎች ያስቆጠረው ጌታነህ 15 ቡድኖች በነበሩበት ውድድር ነው። በአጠቃላይ 30 የሊግ ጨዋታዎች በሚደረጉበት ውድድር ነው 16 ቡድኖች ነበሩ። አሁን 13 ቡድኖች ናቸው። የውድድር የጨዋታ ብዛቱ 24 ነው። ከ22ቱ ጨዋታዎች አንድ አልፎታል። አቡበከር 21 ነው ያደረገው። ከዚህ አኳያ ከነዚህ ትልልቅ አጥቂዎች ጋር የሚነጻጸርበት እድሜ ላይ ደርሷል።
እንግዲህ በታሪክ በኢትዮጵያ እግር ኳስ በጣም ትልልቅ አጥቂዎች ነበሩ። አሁን ደግሞ አቡበከር ናስር የጊዜው ወይም የወቅቱ ምርጡ አጥቂ ነው ብንል ብዙ የሚያከራክር አይመስለኝም። እንግዲህ በታሪክ ከነበሩት ኮከቦች መካከል አንዱ መሆኑን ለማስመስከር አቡበከር ናስር በቀጣይ ውድድር ዘመንም ለቀጣይ 3-4-5 ዓመታት በተመሳሳይ በዚህ ፎርም የሚቀጥል ከሆነ በኢትዮጵያ እግር ኳስ ብቻ ሳይሆን ከኢትዮጵያም ወጥቶ በተሻለ ደረጃ መጫወት የሚያስችል አቅም ያለው ጥራት ያለው በጣም አስደናቂ ተጫዋች ነው። ከምንም በላይ ደግሞ ጎል አስቆጣሪ ቢሆንም የቡድን ተጫዋች ጭምር ነው። የቡድን ጓደኞችን ወደ ማጥቃት ሂደቱ ለማስገባት የቡድን ጓደኞችን ለማገዝ በሊንክ አፕ ፕሌይ የሚያደርገው እንቅስቃሴም በጣም አስደናቂ ነውና ስለዚህ ተጫዋች ብዙ ነገር መባል ያለበት ይመስለኛል።
2009 የውድድር ዘመን ላይ ጌታነህ ከበደ ኮከብ ግብ አግቢነቱን ክብር ከዮርዳኖስ ሲረከብ አቡበከር ናስር በኢትዮጵያ ቡና መለያ የመጀመሪያውን ጨዋታ ያደረገበት ዘመን ነበር። በጨዋታው መግቢያ ላይም በሁለተኛው አጋማሽ ነው የምንመለከተው ማማዱ ሲዴቤ ያስቆጠራት ጎል የአቡበከርን 2-1 መሪነት ወደ አቻነት ያመጣች ነበረች።
የኢትዮጵያ ቡና አንደኛው ትልቁ ችግር የነበረው ዛሬ ውጤቱን ማስጠበቅ አለመቻል ነው። በሁለት የተለያዩ አጋጣሚዎች መሪ መሆን ችለው ነገር ግን ሳይጠቀምበት ቀርቶ እንግዲህ በመጨረሻ ደቂቃ ነው በፍጹም ቅጣት ምት የአቻነቱን ጎል ማስቆጠር የቻለው። ስለዚህ ውጤት ያለማስጠበቅ ችግር የዛሬው ጨዋታ ላይ ታይቶበታል።
በዛሬ ጨዋታ በርካታ መነጋገሪያ ርዕሰ ጉዳዮች ነበሩ። ማማዱ ሲዴቤ ያስቆጠረውን ጎል ነው በመልሶ መልከታ እየተመለከትን ያለ ነው። በሲዳማ ቡና በኩል አሰልጣኝ ገብረመድህን ኃይሌ ከዳኝነቱ ጋር በተገናኘ ሲጠየቁ በጣም በከፍተኛ የብስጭት መንፈስ ራሳቸው ጥያቄውን ይመልሱት ነበር ያሉት። ከነዚህ እንቅስቃሴዎች መካከል ደግሞ በሕጉ በግልጽ የተቀመጠ ከራስ ተጫዋች ወደ ራስ ተጫዋች ወደ ኋላ የተመለሰ ኳስ ከጨዋታ ውጭ አይሆንም የሚለው ሕግ የሲዳማ ቡናን የሜዳ ላይ እንቅስቃሴ ሙሉ ለሙሉ ሊቀይር የሚችል አካሄድ በረዳት ዳኛው የተሻረ ወይም ደግሞ ከጨዋታ ውጭ የተባለ እንቅስቃሴ አለ። አስራት ልጆ በትክክል ነበር ኳሱን ይሰጠው።
የመስመር ዳኛው ኢንተርናሽናል ዳኛ ፋሲካ የኋላሸት ውሳኔቱ ትንሽ ግራ የሚያጋባ ነው። ምክንያቱም ኳሱን በግልጽ እዛው አጠገባቸው ነው ተጫዋቹ የነበረው። ባክፓስ ሲያደርግ ተሳስቶ ነው ኳሱን ለማማዱ ሲዲቢ ያቀበለውና በፍጹም ከጨዋታው ውጭ እንቅስቃሴ ውስጥ አልነበረም። ይሄ ደግሞ በግልጽ የጨዋታ ህግ ሆነው ከተቀመጡት መካከል ብዙዎች
ምናልባት የቆመው ምስል የማማዱ ሲዲቢ ያለበትን ቦታ ለማሳየት ነው እንጂ በየትኛውም ቦታ ላይ ቢሆን ከመጨረሻው ተከላካይ ቀድሞም ቢገኝ ወደ ኋላ የተመለሰ ኳስ ከጨዋታ ውጪ ሊባል የሚችልበት እድል 0%።
ያው ይሄ የመስመር ዳኛውን የእውቀት ክፍተት ወይንም ደግሞ የትኩረት ማነስ ይመስለኛል እንጂ ይሄንን የጨዋታ ህጉን አለማወቅ አይመስለኝምና የትኩረት ማነስ ወይንም ደግሞ በደመነፍስ ድንገት ባንዲራቸውን ያነሱ ይመስለኛልና በጣም ትልቅ ስህተት ነበር የሰሩት።
ሁለተኛው አጋማሽ ላይ የተፈጠሩ ክስተቶችን ነው በምስል እየተመለከትን የምንገኘው። ይገዙ ቦጋለ ከተጠባባቂ ወንበር ላይ ተነስቶ ለሲዳማ ቡና ጎል ከዚህ በፊት አስቆጥሯል። ዛሬም ወሳኛን በ90 ደቂቃ እንቅስቃሴ ለመጀመሪያ ጊዜ የመሩበትን ጎል ያስቆጠረውም በዚህ ሂደት ነበር።
አው የመጀመሪያው አጋማሽ ላይ የቡድኑ ትልቁ ችግር የነበረው ሲዳማ ቡና ሶስተኛው ሜዳ ክፍል ላይ ስኬታማ ነበሩ። ኳሶቻቸው ወደ ጎል የሚሞክሯቸው ኳሶች ለዚህ ደግሞ ለቡድን ጓደኞቻቸው ለመቀባበል ጥረት ሲያደርጉ ስኬታማ አልነበሩም። ሀብታሙ ገዛኸኝን ቀይሮ ከገባ በኋላ ግን ይገዙ ቦጋለ በግሩም ሁኔታ ከኦኪኪ አፎላ የተሰጠውን ኳስ ወደ ግብነት ቀይሯል። የይገዙ ቦጋለ የቀኝ እግር በመጠኑ ከጨዋታ ውጭ ነበረ፣ ኦፍሳይድ ነበር ማለት ነው። ግን ይሄንን በቫር ካልሆነ በስተቀር
የቫር መስመር ካላሰመረው በስተቀር በዚህ ደረጃ የእግሩ ጥላ ነው የምትመለከተው። አሁን ምናልባት ቀደመ ልትል የምትችለውና በጣም ከባድ ነው ይሄንን መወሰን። ተቃውሞ ተነስቶ ነበር። በተቃውሞ ደረጃ ይሄ ኢንተርናሽናል ዳኛውን የሚያስወቅስ እንቅስቃሴ አይደለም። የጨዋታው 90 ደቂቃ ተጠናቆ አሰልጣኝ ገብረመድህን ኃይሌ በከፍተኛ ደስታ ስሜት ውስጥ የገቡበትን መሪነት ካገኙ በኋላ ሲዳማ ቡናዎች የተፈጠረው ክስተት በኢትዮጵያ ፕሪሚየር ሊግ በአንድ የውድድር ዘመን አራተኛ ሶስታ መስራት የቻለ ተጫዋች የተገኘበት ነው። አቡበከር ናስር በረጅሙ የተላከለትን ከአበበ የተላከለትን ኳስ በቀጥታ በግብ ጠባቂው ስህተት ሁለተኛ ስህተቱ ነው የተፈጠረውን እንቅስቃሴ ወደ ፍጹም ቅጣት ምትነት ተቀይሯል።
የግብ ጠባቂው ብቻ ሳይሆን የተከላካዮችም ስህተት ዛሬ ጎሎቹ ሲቆጠሩ በግልጽ የስህተት ምክንያት ነበረው ማለት ይቻላል። በትክክል አቡበከር ናስር ላይ ፋቢያን ፋርኖሌ ጥፋት ሰርቷል። ቢጫ ካርድና ሁለተኛ ቢጫ ካርድና በቀይ ካርድ ከሜዳ የሚያስወጣውም ጥፋት ነው። የዚህ ጎል የተቆጠረበትን እንቅስቃሴ ወይም ፍጹም ቅጣት የተሰጠበትን እንቅስቃሴ ከተመለከትን ግን ዛሬ ኢትዮጵያ ቡና ከተለመደው የጨዋታ መንገዱ በፍጹም የተቀየረውን ኢትዮጵያ ቡናን የተመለከት ነው። ረጃጅም ኳሶችን በተለያዩ አጋጣሚዎች በስፋት ሲጥሉ የተመለከትንበት እንቅስቃሴ ነበረ።
ፋቢያን ቢጫ ካርድ ለመጀመሪያ ጊዜ የተመለከተበት መንገድ ለተጫዋቾች ትምህርት የሚሰጥ ነው። አቡበከር ናስር ትልቁን ኃላፊነት ተወጥቷል። ዘንድሮ ከመታቸው ፍጹም ቅጣት ምቶች አንዱን ብቻ ነው ያመከነው። በጣም ወሳኝ ሰዓት አቻ የሚያስፈልግበት እንደገና ደግሞ ሶስታ የሚሰራበት ነው። ተቀይሮ የገባው ፍቅሩ ኳሷን ምንም ማድረግ አልቻለም። በስተግራ በኩል እሱን ሸውዶት በስተቀኝ በኩል ጎል አስቆጥሯል።
የአቡበከር የፍጹም ቅጣት ምት አመታት ቴክኒክ ራሱ በጣም አስደናቂ እንደሆነ የሚያሳይ ነው። ሰይድ ቅድም እንዳልከው የጨዋታው የመጨረሻ ደቂቃ ነው። ቡድኑ 3-2 እየተመራ ነው። ስለዚህ በብዙ ምክንያት የተጫዋቹን የአእምሮ ጥንካሬ የሚፈትን የፍጹም ቅጣት ምት አጋጣሚ ነው። ኳሱን ያስቆጠረበት መንገድ ደግሞ የተጫዋቹን ችሎታ በደንብ የሚያሳይ ነው።
አቡበከር ናስር ሲዳማ ቡና ላይ በሁለት ዙሮች 6 ጎሎችን አስቆጥሯል። በአጠቃላይ በሊጉ 27 ጎሎችን አስቆጥሯል። ከተከታዩ ሙጂብ ቃሲም እንግዲህ በ8 ጎሎች ርቀት ላይ ይገኛል። ከጌታነህ ከበደ በ15 ከስንታዩ መንግስቱ በ17 በፍጹም አለሙ በ17 ጎሎች ርቀት ላይ ይገኛል። አብዲሳ ጀማል ሁለት ጊዜ በአንድ ቡድን ላይ 5 ጎል ማስቆጠር ችሏል። አዋሳ ላይ በመጀመሪያው ዙር 3ታ በሁለተኛው ዙር ደግሞ በ23ኛው ሳምንት 2 ጎል አስቆጥሮ ነበር። ከዚህ ጨዋታ ውጤት በኋላ ኢትዮጵያ ቡና 37 ነጥብ ላይ ተቀምጧል። ለቅዱስ ጊዮርጊስ፣ ለባህር ዳር ከተማ፣ ለሀዲያ ሆሳዕና መልካም ዜና ነው አቻ መውጣቱ።
በትክክል ለነዚህ ቡድኖች መልካም ዜና ነው። ለሲዳማ ቡና ደግሞ በጣም መጥፎ ዜና ነው። ምክንያቱም አቻ መውጣታቸውን ተከትሎ ሌሎቹ ተፎካካሪዎቻቸው እንደ ወልቂጤ፣ ድሬዳዋ ከተማ አይነት ቡድኖች የሚያሸንፍ ከሆነ ልዩነታቸውን ያሰፋሉና ለሲዳማ ቡና ጥሩ ውጤት አይደለም።
በየሆቴሎቻቸው የድሬዳዋም የወልቂጤ ከተማም ተጫዋቾች ጨዋታዎችን ይመለከታሉ። የተለየ ስሜት ውስጥ ነው የሚገቡት። ሁሉም ቡናና አቡበከር ናስር ነበር የሚደግፉት። ምክንያቱም በሱ ትከሻ በሱ ጎሎች ነው የነሱ የመትረፍ እድል የሚወሰነው። ስለዚህ ወልቂጤ ከተማ ከሰዓት ከሐዋሳ ጋር ከመጫወቱ በፊት 21 ነጥብ አለው። ሲዳማ ቡና 25፣ ድሬዳዋ ከተማ ከፋሲል ከተማ ጋር ነው ቀጥሎ ጨዋታው የሚያደርገው። ወሳኝ ጨዋታቸውን የሚያደርጉ ማለት ነው። 24ኛው ሳምንት በአስገራሚ እንቅስቃሴዎች ነበር የተጀመረው። ረፋድ ላይ 6 ጎሎችን ተመልክተናል። የሐዋሳ ስቴዲየም አሁንም የዩኒቨርሲቲ ስቴዲየሙ ከሰዓት በኋላ ሐዋሳ ከተማ ከወልቂጤ ከተማ ምን አይነት ታሪክ ሊያሳየን ይችላል? ከ8 ሰዓት ከ45 ደቂቃ ጀምሮ ሱፐር ስፖርት እንደተለመደው በቀጥታ ወደ እናንተ ማስተላለፉን ይቀጥላል። የከሰዓት ቀጠሯችሁን ከሱፐር ስፖርት ጋር አድርጉ። መልካም ጊዜ።